What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All Man United fans live in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap extravaganza from We Are Soccer. Lots of fun to talk about. Soccer all over the place. We got kids soccer. We got pro soccer. It's Gold Cup. There's transfers. There's rumors. So much going on. As usual, thank you for joining us. Lots to get to. Before we jump in, we've got to thank our partners in crime, Soccer World, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jags. Thank you, guys. You are what make this show possible. We appreciate it. Friends, followers, viewers, do us a huge favor. Give our partners a follow and a like on all their socials. Again, that's Soccer World, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jaguars. All right, I don't even know where to start. There's so much to get to. The Gold Cup happened. USA last night scratching out a draw against a really good Jamaican team. 1-1 was the final. We'll dig in there. We've got transfers that we've seen this happen. There's rumors going on. Lots of U.S. men's national team players rumored to be moving. They are on the move. The Women's World Cup is almost upon us. I believe we are 3 weeks away from the Women's World Cup. That starts July 20th. We will dig into that. We will talk about the group the USA is in. We'll tell you the game times and some watch parties that are happening for those games. Pitch invasions in Florida. Messi beware. When he gets there, there'll be a lot more pitch invasions. I can guarantee that. We'll talk about that for a little bit. And then we had a strange message from someone who says they may be related to me. I don't know what's going on there. We got a video. We will show you that in a little bit. For now, we do not have Nate. Due to the weather here in Metro Detroit, he got lost in a puddle. No, he did not get lost in a puddle. Nate is not joining us at the moment because he is stuck in a little bit of traffic on the way in. He will be here shortly. So for now, it is just myself and Brooks over at the kids table. Brooks, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Yeah, a little crazy stuff. By the way, add to that messy stuff. There's a person from Philadelphia that flew all the way down to the Inter-Miami match, and he didn't realize that Messi's not coming until July 21st. So that was a fan that did that. And then we have a dog that invaded a pitch in the Chilean first division, and the dog had to be carried off. So
breaking news,
yes.
Dog invades pitch in Chilean first division?
Yes.
First division, oh my gosh.
Right. I know.
And one of the players carried him off, is that what it was?
Yeah, the player had to carry him off, the dog off. So yeah, no, I'm good. Not much this weekend. I had to just kind of chillaxed, and it's kind of the dead period right now with, not really much to watch besides the college guys playing in their summer leagues. Unfortunately, there wasn't really a home match close to me this weekend, but next weekend there will be. And then, kind of everything's done with MLS Next, finishing up today. The MLS Next Cup playoffs finished up today.
We will talk about that shortly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, USYS Midwest regionals and regionals across the country are going on right now. And then, obviously, later you have, USYS National, the championships will come up later in the month or in July.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be traveling to those. But yeah, and then UCNL is actually going on this weekend in Greensboro, South Carolina. So anyways, but nothing really around here. So you have to wait till really August for college and everything else to start up again.
You're right. We've got a little bit of a break here in Metro Detroit. We do have Detroit City FC playing, though, right? So they played, I believe.
Orange County
last night.
They lost 1-0.
Nothing, which is unfortunate because DCFC looked like they got back on track a little bit. But Derailed again, 1-0 loss last night.
Yes.
Michigan Jags, as I'm wearing their brand new jersey. We'll talk about them. They just went to the MLS Next over this past week. That was interesting. We'll get to them in a little bit here, Brooks. I do want to dig in. We've got a nice little clip of a goal that was scored, a really nice goal. And the Jags did really well. Again, that was on Apple TV Plus.
Yes.
I mean, so everybody in the world who has a subscription to Apple TV could have watched that.
Yep.
That's a big thing for the Jags and the players in that setting there. But before we dive in there, before we dive into MLS talk, we'll talk about the standings. We'll talk about Busquets joining his buddy Messi at Miami. We're going to talk about the game that happened last night. It's the Gold Cup. All right, so before we really dive into the actual game, I've got to say this. It seems that a lot of people have forgotten. Let me raise the volume on this. A lot of people seem to have forgotten. Listen. The full national team members, and you're saying, who's that? Obviously, it's Pulisic, Gio Reyna, Dest, McKinney. Yeah, exactly,
Musa,
right?
Balogun, all those
yeah,
guys.
all those guys, right? Where are they? I've seen it a million times. Where are they? Why are those bums not showing up for the Gold Cup? Guys, they just competed in the Nations League. They played 2 games against Mexico and against Canada. Prior to that, a full season of club soccer, man.
Yep.
And don't forget, the World Cup was in there. So from August of last year till June of this year, those guys were going hard.
Yep.
Club soccer, World Cup, coming back, Nations League, they need a rest. Their club teams are actually about to start, no matter what team they're going to be with. Their club teams are going to be starting up again here in the middle of July as all the club teams get back together for preseason training, and then they fly off to do their tours. A lot of those guys are going to be here in the USA. You know, the Chelseas, the Crystal Palaces, the Aston Villas, you name it. Manchester United are here as well. Those guys are all going to be getting back together in a couple of weeks. They need a rest. So the U.S. men's national team put together a different roster for the Gold Cup. We've got mostly MLS players. Brooks today just informed me that Matt Turner volunteered for to come and play in the Gold Cup. Good for him. Probably because, I mean, this is going to sound bad, but he didn't play very many games in the season at Arsenal. He's the backup at Arsenal.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean he didn't train. He trained every single day. He probably played in some reserve matches. Trust me, he did a full year's worth of work, even though he wasn't the starting goalkeeper.
Yep.
But good for him coming to play. Played on his birthday yesterday as well.
Yes.
Our guy, Dwan Jones, did not get into the game. It was his birthday yesterday as well. Happy birthday to my boy, Dwan. Swap texts with him. What a good dude that guy is. Hopefully he gets in again in the next game here against Saint Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Brooks, the game last night, 1-1 against a really good Jamaican team, man. Like, they're good.
Yeah, they have a lot of Premier League players.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on the game, man?
I mean, I knew it was all Jamaica always gives the U.S. national team a tough. It's a lot of athletes. It's a lot of athletes that are big and physical. I mean, they weren't shy of getting up and throwing elbows and knocking into players, and I mean that's how it was the whole entire game from start to finish. So you got Andre Blake in goal, who I would say is probably one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers in the MLS.
I will go out on a limb and say I think you're right. I think he could be one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS at the moment. And I thought he came up with some big saves last night to really keep Jamaica in it at points.
Yep.
You are not kidding on that.
Yeah. And
You've said that before, by the way, about him.
I have said that many times, yes. Leon Bailey looked good for your Aston Villa.
Minus the penalty and then the shot after the penalty. We might have to just forget about it. I don't know why he's their penalty kick taker, because Mikel Antonio is a really good penalty kick taker. But yes, Leon Bailey does play for Jamaica. He is part of the Aston Villa team. A really good player. Do you see the double nutmeg he had in the second half?
It was Aiden Morris. He nutmegged. It was
right?
pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty filthy.
Yeah, that's
in the corner.
What Leon Bailey does right there, man. That's
when he's healthy.
Does.
Yeah,
that was fun. But again, yes,
Amari Gray played as well. I mean, the guy that just
Everton player.
transferred made the one-time switch from England to to Jamaica, and I love that. I love that these guys are like, I don't want to wait. Like, I want to play. I want to get in the World Cup, and I think Jamaica is not far off from getting themselves into the next World Cup.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. They played really well last night. I think that if they can really, they've got a new coach as well. Obviously,
do.
they took the Iceland coach there,
Mhm.
who led that Iceland team to the 2018 World Cup.
Yep. They looked more organized. They looked like they weren't just playing really direct. They tried to play through. Like I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, they have athletes, and they have everywhere. They have Premier League guys that play in USL Championship, guys that play in MLS. Probably a few other guys that maybe play in some other smaller leagues over in, smaller first division leagues in Europe. So it's a really good combination of players. And, like whatever, Raheem Sterling, if he wasn't playing for the English national team, is Jamaican by descent. He could have been playing for him if he really wanted to, but obviously he was going to be in the English national team from the get-go. But, I think you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see the Iceland go after more dual national players, and Jamaica could be really just like the U.S. got really dangerous with the dual national guys. You can really see that in Jamaica, and listen, they're going to give people problems left and right.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and say you are 100% right.
Mhm.
Last night, Jamaica looked organized. They looked like they had purpose. They had intent. They had just for at some points there was 4, 5, 6 minutes where they controlled the play and really looked dangerous.
Yeah.
And the U.S. was hunkered in and had to defend for their lives for a couple of minutes in stretches. I will say, if Leon Bailey puts that penalty in, or the rebound puts that in, Jamaica goes up 2-0. I gotta be honest, I don't see the young U.S. team fighting back from down 2-0. I think they would have gone shell shocked. Now, that penalty was saved, and then the open net was missed by Leon Bailey. Great save by Matt Turner.
Yes.
Poor miss by Leon Bailey on the return shot there. I think that right there sparked the U.S. on, and they said, okay, hold on, wait a minute. We have momentum coming out of the Nations League. It wasn't half of our team, but look who we are. We are at home. The crowd's behind us. Let's go. That sparked them on. And, Brooke, something you said to me earlier was that there were rumors that the team selection was not done by
BJ Callahan.
Callahan, excuse me. It was done by Greg Berhalter, the now returning again men's head coach. 100%, I feel that he had a part in the conversation and offered his recommendations. BJ Callahan is the head coach for now, but he will join the staff of Greg Berhalter when Berhalter returns.
Yes.
So I have no doubt Greg Berhalter put his 2 cents in. And what do you do when your new boss, who isn't your boss at the moment but is coming to be your boss, what do? You follow his lead and you do what he says. So I have no doubt that Greg Berhalter did have some input and did put his thought on this and did work with BJ Callahan. Now, one thing I don't think they sat back, but I think they got pushed back again with the experience and the pressure of Jamaica. But then, as you told me earlier before we kicked off our show here, Brooks, the changes.
Yes.
The substitutions and when they were made and how they were made by BJ Callahan is what changed the game and really turned it around.
Yes.
I got to be honest, I'll agree with the Twitter rumors that Greg Berhalter probably made this selections, or most of them, but it was BJ Callahan who really turned it around. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think, Nate brought this up before the previous World Cup this past year. He was playing from a big player pool, and, he was bringing all these guys in, and then he selected players that weren't even in certain, recent player pools before the World Cup, and they hadn't been in for a few months. And I don't understand, give everyone a chance. Like, it gets absurd with me at some point where you need to watch all the players play club soccer, and you should be able to easily identify players that are good enough for the national team that can play against these guys and are not good enough. Like, there should be no reason why they're C team players in here. They should all, like, if it's not your full A team, it should be your B plus to B players. You know what I mean? The C players are never going to be good enough. And maybe there's one that's a C plus and's on the fringe, that is a good utility player that's athletic enough, maybe that's technical enough or whatever. Or maybe there's some young guys you want to play from the 20, that are 20 in the 23s that will play in the Olympics possibly, or that were just with the U20s in the U20 World Cup. I'd rather play those kids that still have some time to develop and that are not in their prime, because a lot of those U20s were 19, 18, 17. Than mess around with guys to me that in Alan Sonora or a James Sands
give me an example of someone who you thought either got a start, was on the bench, and shouldn't have been there at all.
I mean, I think
Sonora,
Aaron
I'm
Long.
going to agree with you, to be honest.
Aaron Long is a waste of time. Sonora, I think, is a waste of time. He's technical, but he's not athletic enough. His final third ball is shit. I think it's not good enough.
Straight to the point there, Brooks.
Yes, I am. Listen, Aaron Long is a very good MLS center back. He's been good for the Red Bull. He's been good. The problem is he's not athletic enough. I think Miazga's enough. I'd want to keep him in. Why not give like Josh Winder a try? Like that was with the 20s. Who's 19 going to Benfica. Why not bring him in?
But I don't want to say I want to counter that, but hasn't Long Hasn't he deserved a little bit here? He's been a good player in the MLS. Doesn't he deserve a little bit where Josh Winder hasn't really played in the MLS properly yet, right?
Well, he's been in USL Championship. But, I mean, I'm for the fact that I would rather, at this point, because we still have 3 years to qualify, I'd rather start giving those young guns an opportunity. Like when Jalen Neal came in from LA Galaxy, who's in the first team, he changed the game. Like when they got rid of Aaron Long, I mean, you had two guys now, him and Miazga, that could cover ground. You know, why didn't you start with Jalen Neal?
I would agree with you. Neal looked like a different player.
Yeah, why didn't you start with him?
From the faraway camera view, he reminded me of Chris Richards. And then when he played the ball with his feet and the way he moves, he looked like Richards as well. But he did change the game. I'll agree with you. I agree with you.
Listen, you want and then beach. You know, I've seen the videos of they do the behind the scenes stuff on the U.S. men's national team YouTube webpage, and I've watched them, and we've all seen the clips where they're out to win this, and I think they should. They should always be out to win a competition.
Yeah.
But don't give me guys that you don't see 3 years down the road that will be in the mix. Like, this isn't, like, if you want to do a goodbye send-off with Bradley and Altidore, like, that's fine. I don't care. You want to do it in a friendly? That's fine. But just play kids that have the future and potential. I mean, you see all the time. I think you and I were talking with Europe, UEFA Nations League. I mean, everyone's not in for that, England and everyone else, but they're playing guys that maybe have potential to join the top players in I guess the A team of the top national team that maybe in the way are maybe on the road and the path to play with that team. Maybe not in the upcoming World Cup.
So I will ask you. Let me. I get where you're going with this. But let me say you'd mentioned him already, Jamie Sands. You do not feel he should be part of the squad moving forward because he has no potential to be part
as
of
a center back.
26.
Maybe as a six. No.
Do you not think he gets outplayed or is just not good enough to be in that center back role with who we have available already? Right.
I think if you didn't have Chris Richards and Miles Robinson, and I would still leave Zimmerman in.
Absolutely.
If I'm going into the next World Cup. And Zimmerman's still playing at a high level, like MLS Defender of the Year, and is still keeping up and barring injuries.
Yep.
I think he may not start, but he's one you keep. Because maybe if you go to
be your next Tim Ream.
He could. Very much he could. Very, very much so. And he's had a very solid MLS career, starting with FC Dallas and then with LAFC and then going to Nashville.
You're right. You have this fine balance, though, right? Because Richards not playing consistently in the Premiership with Crystal Palace.
But did very well.
Looked like an absolute stud of a player against Canada and against Mexico, right?
Yes. Miles Robinson came off injury, but he looked good in that first one against Mexico.
Good. But can you count on players every time to show up and put in that performance if they're going to sit on the bench for 4, 5, 6 months at their club team?
Fair.
You can't. So you got to keep people like Walker Zimmerman around. Plus, Walker Zimmerman is, for lack of a better term, captain material. That is a captain right there. He's your second captain behind Pulisic, essentially, right?
Yes. Or McKennie or
Jamie Sands, for me, I think gets lost in that mix. It almost seems like what they're trying to do is like, we like this kid. He's got good foot skills. He's got some pace, but not enough. for where they're trying to put him. They're trying to put him in that defensive midfield role.
Yeah.
We'll call it the 6.
And this
right?
is no offense
And
to
I don't
him.
think that's his spot.
No,
I
it's
just don't think that's his spot.
And they put him in a double pivot, and he still didn't look great.
Right.
I mean, he can do the 1-2 touch, but like he's not like Aiden Morris. He's not like McKennie. He's not like Musa, where he can beat guys off the dribble, standing still and split guys, and then dribble forward. And he doesn't. I don't think he covers enough ground. So that's why I see him as a center back. He's good enough in MLS to play that that 6 role. But I mean, listen, there's a reason why he didn't make it at Rangers, where the loan and they didn't want to fully sign him.
I hate to agree with you 100%. I hate to say that he's good enough to play the 6 in the MLS, but then he comes and plays against Jamaica, who have 4 players up top who are from the MLS: Leon Bailey, Antonio.
EPL.
So what did I say? MLS. Sorry, EPL.
yeah.
Gray, Antonio, Bailey. I mean. He gets exposed there. You're right, because they just run circles past him. Now, one of the players I think that all 3 of us, you, Nate, and myself, agreed on last night that just looked terrible was Sonora.
Yeah, Jordan Morris wasn't good either. And I know Katie brought that up, like, unpopular opinion, don't love Jordan Morris. And unfortunately with Jordan, it's two ACL injuries. I mean, he looked fantastic when he was playing at Stanford, and he filled in with the men's national team for a game. And, but when you do 2 ACLs and you're playing against top international players that are fast and athletic, he almost scored a goal. It was a good run. It was a good little flick in behind at the end of the first half. He almost scored.
Yep.
But you need more from Jordan. And I think at that point, I like Jordan. I think, you play him as a center forward. He does more for you than as a winger. But unfortunately, center forward position, you have Vasquez, Pepe, and Balogun now. So he's really kind of got canceled out. So I would just really focus on the important players. I mean, I'd rather see Cade Cowell play a little more. Maybe he should have started. But, there was just some guys, like we talked, Sonora, Sands, Morris, and some other guys. I
personally think the game was a little above Cade Cowell's level yesterday.
Yes. Heavy first touch a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. The next game, I think, is where – and listen, we're playing against St. Kitts and Nevis. If anybody watching right now can actually pinpoint on a map where St. Kitts and Nevis is, I will hand you the shirt off my back. Yes, it's the We Are Soccer Jags shirt. It does have We Are Soccer on the back. I turn around, but I can't name where it is. It's a small island somewhere, right down in Caribbean-ish area.
Yeah.
Probably beautiful. Probably a place you want to go and have Mai Tais. They are not going to bring the strongest team against us in the next game.
Or their strongest team won't be, it'll make our B guys look like A players, you know what I mean?
Nailed it. I think their strongest team will make our C players look like A players. So I expect some changes there. I expect a Cade Cowell to get in there. I expect our guy Dwan Jones to get in there. I expect just some of those guys, Vasquez to start, who maybe even should have got the start last night. But
I thought Dwan should have got the start.
I thought Dwan should have got the start as well. But I will say, Vasquez, I think maybe should have got the start. He scored the goal, came in very nice. But Jesus Ferreira had 3 or 4 nice little passes or flicks that set people up for shots or put them in on goal.
And that's his best attribute.
What he does
at the international level.
But
in the MLS level, he can score.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize that he can do that. And even if he doesn't score, if he's setting them up, it's creating chances. I'm fine with that.
And I think that's why he's played as a 10 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you play a 3-5-2, and it's him and Vasquez at the top, and he's the underneath guy. Maybe that suits him better.
Yeah.
And that's why, and I think a 3-back formation would be very interesting for the U.S. men's national team.
And in the next game against St. Kitts and Nevis, no, that is not 2 countries. That is just one. Trust me, Nate. It's just one country.
Yes.
I know you're watching. That's maybe what they should try. Let's try it. I mean,
got nothing to lose.
What do you got to lose?
You should win that game.
You should win that game with 8 players.
Yes.
No offense to St. Kitts and Nevis, who, like I said, no one can pinpoint you on the map.
Yes.
But maybe they do that. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I thought a player that really got an unfair, shellacking from people on social media and whatnot was Aiden Morris. I don't think people watch this guy enough at Columbus. I've watched him since he was a freshman at IU. He only stayed 1 year at IU, and I watched him about 6 times. Didn't have a chance to watch him at the Columbus Career Academy, but I've been following him ever since I saw him at IU. This kid covers ground. He defends. Listen, he may not be the most technical, or he may hit a couple errant passes sometimes, but I would rather have him in than James Sands, and I honestly think he's a fringe. I would consider him like a B-plus player, kind of on the fringe of like if we had to pick like a 20, 25, 20, what was it, 28 they did last year, 28-man World Cup roster?
Because of the whole thing, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to go to
20. You've been banging on the drum about Aiden Morris for a solid year now.
Yeah, he wants to play in Europe. He's young.
Let me ask you this. Who would you compare him to? So people who have only seen 1 or 2 games of Aiden Morris, who would you compare him to? Who in the world, it doesn't have to be an American, doesn't have to be anybody you would say, listen, he is in this same vein or same mold as. Give me a name.
Well, I wouldn't say he's the same mold, but he's got a little bit of like Weston McKennie's like covering ground and getting stuck in.
Yep, that's a good one.
He's not as athletic, I would say, as McKennie, but he has the ability to cover ground, make tackles, go in hard to challenges. He's a kid that if you poke him a bit, he responds, and he responds by playing tougher. And then his passing isn't bad. Is it on the range of like Musa and probably Tyler Adams? I'd say no, but it's better than I think James Sands, and he holds the pocket very well. He really holds the pocket very well and stays in there to look to play.
I'll agree 100% with you. I will say I really enjoy watching him play, but he's young. He's got no experience at the moment. He just needs more experience. Oh, hi, Nate. I didn't even see you over there. How are you?
I broke all sorts of laws when I heard Aiden Morris is a B-plus player.
Woo! Woo!
And then
there we go. I had to put your volume up there. Sorry.
There you go.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm looking at, too. What are you going through another midlife part 2? You just wearing your kids' jerseys now?
Hey, man, they made this for me.
Nice jersey.
They made this for me.
Looking good.
This is adult, male, size, medium. Yes.
If you have the shorts underneath and the socks, I'm done.
Okay, not standing up. We are wearing. I am wearing this for a reason, because we will talk about it shortly. The Michigan Jags MLS Next team made it all the way to the semifinals. They did very well. We're going to show you a goal clip there. We're going to jump in. Why don't we just quickly finish up the conversation? Nate, want your point of view on this Gold Cup last night? USA played well, not great. But, again, probably our B and our C team right there.
It's a conspiracy. You understand what's going on, right?
Please do explain.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear what's happening. BJ is sandbagging this, so that way when Greg comes in, he looks fantastic. It's called being a team player. So he pulled out You agree? You didn't agree with that lineup. You didn't agree with that lineup. There was guys that were sitting on that bench that you wanted to see out.
Are you talking about Vasquez, number 1?
But he's not sandbagging it.
He's sandbagging it on purpose.
He's not sandbagging it when your guy that's going to coach has told you that I want to see this.
Nope. He said, "Boss, let me underperform for you, because if I were to continue winning, it would just spark more ire in the fan base. And so now I'm going to just shit the bed a couple times against some teams, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, Greg, come in, we need to save you. And then Greg will come in with his big shiny cape going, don't worry, I will save you. No more playing James Sands and Jordan Morris. No, he's probably going to play those guys.
Until B.J. Callahan got the draw last night with the smart subs he made.
Yeah, I mean, he had to get the draw so they could stay in it, but it's part of the plan by, not playing your best team first. It's all part of the plan to make Greg Berhalter look good.
Now, as you may have heard us say, Nate, they are playing against one team.
No, it's two.
I know you think it's
four
two.
teams played at once today. It was a four-corner match. We had Trinidad Tobago and the one other one.
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, that one. And they're like, I think there was 4 goals out there. I didn't watch the game, but I think there was 4 goals.
It's like a training session.
Yeah.
A 4-goal game.
Yeah. And they were like, let's go. And it was like 4 teams all at once.
There was also 4 fans in the stadium watching.
Well, I could have been 5.
They were each different colors in each section.
Yeah. It was everyone had a different colored penny.
Well, listen. All right, Gold Cup. I don't care about the Gold Cup. It'd be nice to win, but I want to make sure that our coaching staff gets the right pieces out of this, and it's looking at certain players like Vasquez and going, yes,
Like Aaron
this
Long
guy can do it. Yes, Aaron
told you he
Long.
shouldn't
No,
have been
you're
there.
not coming along for further after this.
Yeah.
This is your swan song.
Yedlin needs
after
to
that.
go.
Yedlin
Like I said,
has
Dwan
got to
Jones
go.
and Dwan Jones should have started on the right, and Tolkien should have started on the left.
No,
I 100% agree. Now, I think that happens when we play St. Kitts and Nevis. That's Wednesday, I believe that game is. I believe Dwan Jones will start. I think we will make some changes, and I think maybe this could be the last time we see DeAndre Edlin because Dwan Jones is going to pass the hell out of him.
Yeah, because you may see
in all
Brian,
aspects of the game.
you may see Brian Reynolds start too, who's looking to play other places too.
I want to see Mahalovic start. I want to see.
He was good when Jordan and Georgie Mahalovic came in. He changed the game too. He's a better 10 than Sonora.
I want to see Vasco start. I want to see Jesus Ferreira play either a 10 or out wide. I want to see, there's. It's kind of annoying watching some of the guys play who are playing when, if we don't care about this game, why is Busio sitting the bench? Why is he not playing?
He's been a key guy at Venezia. He should.
Right, and he's
definitely
21.
Yeah, he's still young.
So I'd rather have him out
That's
there.
back to my point where the young guys should play. I'd rather call up the U20s and the younger guys that would play for the 23s than all these other guys.
Well, I think what we can do is say this. Listen, our league, the MLS, has grown so much in the last couple of years that we are able to produce players who can play against top-level players from Jamaica and these other national teams. I think it really speaks that, and we know it, and everybody who's watching knows it, the league is growing. The league is doing very well. Now, we all know, we've all heard the news, we talked about it for 2 or 3 weeks now, Messi
Never
is
heard of
coming
him. Who?
to, yes, he's a
What?
player who plays for, used to play for, okay, forget it.
Got it. Going to the Saudi League.
Scott Emmerich likes him.
Oh, of course, well, yes.
Yes.
And Biscuits is coming.
That's where we're going with
Busquets,
Oh, did I ruin it? I'm sorry. Let me put it back in the oven.
but not Di Maria
Let me put the biscuits back
or
in the oven
Suarez.
for
All right,
Craig to
so,
open the biscuits.
just so everybody's aware, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, yes, that is Messi. There's never been a better player. There never will be a better player. Turned 36 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to the GOAT. Congratulations. 36. It's all downhill from there, my friend. Trust me, I know. He is going to make his debut for Inter Miami. Brooks called this. He
Cruz
100% called this. Brooks, well done.
Thank you. Thank
Called it.
you.
Nate and I said
Hail
this.
Caesar.
Nate and I said this would not happen. You said it would happen, and it is happening. Messi makes his debut against Cruz Azul in the, the Cup of...
Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup, that's it. I don't know these damn MLS competitions. Leagues Cup against Cruz Azul, July 21st. Not the other day. Brooks, as you were telling me, some fan flew down to watch it and goes, where's
Yes,
Messi?
some guy from Philadelphia. He had a sign that says, I flew like 1,000 some miles and Messi wasn't playing.
Yeah, read, buddy, or do what we do. Watch
some
our
food over here?
show. Watch our show, and you will learn. July 21st. It is a Friday. Messi
Maybe not.
makes his debut against Cruz Azul in the Leagues Cup. So now Messi has started to recruit. He has started to put a Miami super team together.
Like LeBron James.
He's going to have to because that
God, you
Miami,
guys are killing me. You're jumping in too early.
that Miami team's like utter dog shit.
Well,
So
that's
he's
because
gonna-
they've lost. They just suck.
So
They
it's like
absolutely
I
suck.
saw something. They're like, there's 29 teams. They're sitting at 27th place right now out of the 29 teams.
That's better than I thought.
Well, who is it? LA Galaxy and other,
Oh, yeah,
and
the
someone else are behind.
The Galaxy, they're terrible.
Yeah.
So yes, Nate, as you called him, Biscuits, but it's actually Busquets.
Biscuits, yeah, got it.
Yes, he will be his, former Barcelona. He deserves a lot
Yep.
of. Okay,
He's
forget.
great with jam.
Spanish biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh God, I give up.
You ever take biscuits and put jam on it, like strawberry jelly? It's delicious.
With
Like,
some butter.
Busquets is joining
biscuit, like Pillsbury biscuits.
Messi in Miami.
Only 15 minutes in
Now-
the oven. Delayed
Now,
for
I
3.
did see a post yesterday by a very popular outlet, one that gets hundreds of thousands of likes and shares on their posts.
We Are
on
Soccer?
Twitter. No,
Nailed it.
Slightly fewer than that.
Yeah.
They put out a post last night that said, "Look at the team that Miami is building. Oh, and by the way, Suarez may be on his way. Angel Di Maria might be on his way.
No,
Nope.
Di Maria already signed.
This is the joke. This is
well,
over.
this
Yes. You ruined Craig's.
That's the third time. You guys are gonna be.
It's him.
You guys are getting the button from here on out.
I didn't know that was going to be a joke. I thought he
Not a
legitimately
joke.
didn't know that Di Maria went to some know-nothing Turkish team or
He was-
whatever.
They
He's
went
going to
He
Benfica.
went to Benfica.
Oh,
Returned to Benfica.
Never heard of
and
him.
Suarez has retired.
That's
So
where
this,
Josh Winder is going.
This outlet that I will not name because it was highly embarrassing that they put that out there last night after the last 3 days of Angel Di Maria. No, we all knew he was going to sign. Then he put pen to paper yesterday morning. And then Suarez retired 2 days ago. So highly embarrassing. Know your stuff. I don't want to say the outlet. Anyway, but with all that being said, there are still a couple of players out there. Jordi Alba, a couple other players they think may end up in Miami. The MLS is wild, man. It's absolutely wild to me that they can just go ahead and sign all these big players. And every other team in the league is going to be like, yeah, cool. Bring all those players over. Make a super team. It's great. We don't want to win. The Premiership, if you say, listen, we're going to need to pool all our money together to bring this superstar. Are you good with it? Get the out of here. No way. No way am I doing that. But that's the MLS because it's franchise.
yeah.
Everybody's a winner.
Yeah, but what's super?
Well, like, look at PSG. They brought Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar together. I mean, come on. Like,
Yep. Yes,
let's
they
be
did.
honest with that
But
one.
do you think all the other French teams in that league were like, oh yeah, cool, man. We'll help you with that. We'll donate some of our money or bend the rules so you can do that.
Well, that's the thing is, though, like, every club is their own thing.
Yeah. And
It's-
that's
MLS is the entire league.
franchise.
So hold on though. Thierry Henry won how many MLS Cups?
None.
Alonso Julian won how many MLS Cups?
Who?
Yeah, who? I don't know.
What is it? Julian, the guy from Inter Miami.
Nope, you lost me. Continue on.
Oh, like the first coach they had?
Never mind, I can't pronounce his
Wait,
name right. but you guys-
I'll
You mean Phil
finish-
Neville?
no.
I'll finish
Not
this.
talking about
I'll
coaches.
finish this for
No,
you.
no, yeah, hold on,
Frank
hold on.
Lampard,
How many-
Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, David Villa, right? Is that where we're going?
Zlatan.
Zlatan. Did we change the rules drastically for them to get here? Beckham, yes.
Beckham won
Beckham-
one, but it took him like 3
Beckham,
years.
yes.
I mean, it's Beckham and Robbie Keane and Landon Donovan. I mean, that was a pretty good team.
And it took
Yeah.
him 3-4 years to do it, right?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. But they got the job done, right?
But you're seeing my point. There's
But-
never been
But why? There's no other league in the world where the club's going to be like, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's pool our money together and change the rules to bring this one guy here.
It's because of the collective bargaining. But my point is, just because
Franchise.
you bring one guy in doesn't mean you're gonna win the whole kit and caboodle. Actually, there's strong evidence showing that doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, trust me. If I'm a franchise owner in the MLS, I say, yeah, I'll definitely. You can change all the rules you want because he's going to bring in
They
the
really
crowds,
change
which
any rules?
Yes. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They're making exceptions for Miami, but like they still have to fall within protocol of like they need 3D
They made
DP
some big
players.
exceptions, and they needed the other clubs to sign off on it. And every club was like, "Hell yeah, bring that guy here!"
Oh, yeah, because there'll be more
you're
money
gonna
for the
you're
the
gonna
league.
sell out all your games, and then when he comes and plays against us, we're gonna sell out, and that means more money.
Yeah,
for
I'm
all of
actually
us.
pretty pissed off because I really wanted to go see FC Cincinnati versus Inter Miami.
Because he'd actually play there because it's grass.
No, I don't give two shits whether I see him play. I just wanted to see that game. I don't. I wanted to see that game because I like FC Cincinnati. Thought it'd be a great Open Cup match. If they won, that'd be their first time ever getting to a final. I thought it'd been really cool, and they actually have a good chance to win. Tickets are about $300 to $400 right now.
Stupid prices, right?
Yeah.
there. Yep.
So it looks like won't be doing that. It's shitty.
Let me ask you a question, money aside here, Nate. Brooks, same to you. Boys, going to ask you this question. Money aside.
Well, money aside, I do a lot of things.
I like me too, trust me. Money aside, the ticket to see Messi probably is going to be cost you $400 to $600 right now. Money aside, are you interested in traveling, let's just say 4 hours from your home to go see Messi play a game against Team XYZ, Chicago, Columbus, Cincinnati? Are you interested and would you do it? But are you interested in going to see just Messi, essentially? Like just a random game on a Wednesday night? Would you travel out of your way to see Messi play?
Does it matter? Well, you got to rein in the parameters here because, like, I Like I said, big fan of FC Cincinnati. You don't got to tell me twice to go there. I'd go see any random there.
Let's just say
Let's
Chicago.
go Chicago. The worst stadium in the league.
Worst stadium in the league. 4-hour drive. Parking's horrendous. Beers are $13.50 at
empty,
that freaking
dead stadium.
Right. So horrible, absolutely horrible. Brooks, are you going to Chicago to see Messi play?
Well, you gave me 3 options.
Nope, I'm gonna go. We're changing it.
Yeah, we reined it in.
Yeah, we reined it in.
Oh. I mean, my one friend might be able to get me free tickets, so that would help. So
This is what I deal with here, folks. All right, again, money aside. Wednesday night, free ticket. Are you going to see Messi play?
Oh, no. We'll play with your game with if it's $300. I don't think I'd drive that far to see him in Chicago.
What if your friend gave you a free ticket?
Yes.
You would go see him.
Yes.
But the following Wednesday, it's LAFC coming to play Chicago. You get a free ticket. Are you going to see them play?
Yes.
Really?
Hold on. This is a realistic scenario because on October 4th, Inter Miami goes to Chicago.
Wait, what? September 4th? On a
October
Wednesday?
4th, on a Wednesday. It's a real scenario. So, but here's the even funnier part. There's 64,000 people that fit in Soldier Field. If they open the whole damn thing up.
Yeah, that could be possible to
They
sell
should
out.
open the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. No
You
one
might
else?
actually not have to spend $400.
This is true.
Possibly.
I personally am going out of my way. I don't know if I'm spending $300 though, but I would go. I do want to be able to say I've seen him play in a competitive match, not just a friendly. Provided he is playing and he's healthy, I may try to get out of my way and go and watch him play. Because again, in my mind, he is the GOAT. There is no one ever better to have played this game. I don't know. I think he's going to attract. And Nate, you brought something up there, actually. Chicago would be very smart to probably open up that top section and
All
say,
65,000.
we got 65,000. Let's do this. Because last night they closed half that section down. One
They
side of the
have to.
stadium because it was but there was a lot of people there last night for the USA game, minus the one section which they closed, right? The top section. But there was a lot of people there last night. A lot more than the Canada-USA game in Vegas.
Yeah, there weren't a lot.
How
of
sad
people.
was that?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Oh.
You really should probably think about what venue. Well, I mean, you always prepare for U.S. Mexico if they were going to play each other,
Yeah.
but they really should think about well, they weren't going to play each other except in the semifinals, so maybe we really should have thought about making the final a different.
I guess.
Why don't they play the final at a freaking MLS stadium?
I know.
Why does it have to be at a freaking football stadium all the damn time?
So, and that's the thing.
idea.
They shouldn't do because that's the problem. You're in a football stadium that's 45 to 65,000 seats. I tried to look up to see how many people were in attendance. Unfortunately, couldn't find it. But I'm willing to bet multiple dollars. You take that into an MLS specific stadium that's only about 30,000, and it's a packed, rockin', awesome house.
Yeah.
Pick your venue. FC Cincinnati, Austin,
Columbus has a soccer
Columbus,
specific stadium.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's that big. I'm trying to think of the
Nashville.
bigger ones. Like Nashville's a bigger one
Nashville.
that seats 30 or whatever.
No, most of those guys are sitting 25 to 30.
I say most of them right now are in the 22 to 30 range. From what I understand. What's it'd be interesting to know what the new St. Louis stadium seats.
It only seats in the mid to low 20s.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And same with Portland's only in the mid to lower 20s
Okay.
too.
All right.
So
Well-
not everyone gets to 30. I think
Yeah.
most people play it safe and they're in the mid 20s to higher 20s. But
Well, it's cheaper to get
Cincy
a
is 30.
It's cheaper to get a stadium like that and let's say 25,000 because it's going to sell out. It looks better instead of building a 30,000 seater stadium that's not going to sell out and you have empty sections. So either way, anyway, I think this is a very good thing for the MLS. We've seen the money that Messi has made and is going to make. It's incredible. It just came out yesterday, the money he's getting paid to be the representative for Saudi Arabia or Qatar. He's their representative. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah,
He's
yeah. I
getting
saw that.
$25 million a year.
So what does that mean? Does he just do commercials and stuff, or
So the breakdown is he does one family vacation a year, 20 people or less.
what does that mean?
Paid for. He gets paid $2 million to take a vacation there with his family.
People can look at him like he's in a zoo.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't tap the glass.
Yes.
You'll spook the Messi.
Plus,
I
and
don't
then
know, The Rock.
you'll spook the Messi. and then another $2 million to make 10 social posts per year.
ready? On.
Yeah, you got the breakdown?
No, I don't have a breakdown. I have
Oh.
a breakdown of stadium sizes though, because Don, I'm just saying though.
Go for it.
Nashville and Cincy are 27 to 30,000. Almost all their MLS stadiums are 20 to 25. Say I told you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like I said, put in a 25 to 30,000 person stadium, and those numbers look great.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll sell out if you put it in that.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you
Exactly.
want. That's what you want, and you want sellouts.
And do it in a soccer-specific stadium with all this BS of like the field not being big. Because when you play in the Las Vegas one, when they played last year, the Nations League last summer, I mean, it wasn't wide enough or whatever. With the field dimensions weren't really big, so
It looks like poop. Stop it.
yeah, it didn't look good.
USA, stop it.
Stop it. Stop doing that, USA.
Stop it now.
All right, gonna break in here, friends. Just a quick reminder: this show does not happen without our friends and partners in crime. SoccerWorld.net, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jags. Thank you so much to our partners. They are the ones who've helped us produce this show and put it out there for you. So we appreciate it. Do us a huge favor. It's a trip over my tongue there. Give them a like, a share, and a subscription on their social channels, please. Soccer World, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing in Oak Park. We drink their beer. Beautiful beer. I love it. I'm going to be heading down there in the next couple of weeks here. Also, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, we're going to be doing Women's World Cup watch parties. Not the 3 a.m. game. I don't think I'm going to be there on a Tuesday morning at 3 a.m. But the Friday night 9 p.m. game. I think we're in for that. And the Michigan Jags. All
They have
right.
really good food trucks there, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they got great food trucks, man.
They have
Absolutely
like
great.
different stuff all the time. Like you know,
Yep.
they have foreign food, they have Mexican food, they have good old meat. When we were there, they
Oh,
had
the
the meat
meat
pies.
pies. Oh, my gosh.
They were good.
I had the curry one and the Philly steak and cheese one. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Later in this show, we're going to talk about transfers, rumors. We're going to be talking about pitch invasions. We're going to be talking about a video that was sent to us from someone who says they are related to me. I don't know what that's about. We will see. We've got a
Was it
lot of
Nate?
other stuff. Was it Nate? Was
Yeah.
it Nate? Nate is not related to me. He was hoping it was him.
No, but I say that we're related.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's not from Nate. We are also talking about where some of the U.S. men's national team players could end up. Balogun, Pulisic, Aronson rumored to be leaving. Weston
Musa.
McKennie, Musa, Weah. Oh, my God, so many. And then we're going to break down the Women's World Cup from the USA side. So much to get to. Brooks, what should we do next? Should we wait to do MLS till after the break, or you want to talk about that
MLS
now?
next after the break.
You want to do MLS? I want to do MLS and then MLS next. What do you want to do, buddy? I want to talk standings. You want to jump in and finish? it
Oh,
off?
let's do MLS standings, then we'll do MLS
All right,
next. We'll
all
do
right.
the Jag stuff.
All
after
right,
the
boys
break.
and girls. As you heard Brooks say, we're going to do MLS, then we'll do MLS next. But the MLS Biscuits, as Nate calls them,
So much biscuits.
is coming to join his buddy in Miami. They are going to need help because they
There's no
are in
gravy,
a
though.
terrible state.
Damn.
They are in a terrible state
there a
right now.
jam?
Let's go ahead and put that table up. Here is the Eastern Conference standings. And as you can see, Messi's Miami sits last. 18 games played, 5 wins and 13. How incredible is that? 13 losses and 0 draws. Are you kidding me? No draws? There's no other team in this division, or this conference, that has no draws.
No team in the league that has 0 draws besides them.
Look,
Hey,
look
hey.
at Toronto.
Go.
10 draws.
Go,
My word.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, I mean, they went home a lot.
Can you imagine if
Yeah,
Toronto
Miami went
flipped,
home a
like,
lot.
Can you imagine if Toronto flipped like 5 of those draws to wins? How many more points they have, and they'd be above the playoff line?
Oh, dude, if they flipped 3 of those, right? So that's 9 points. They would be at, takes that 16 and 9, they'd be at 25. They would be in 9th position, 10th position, instead of in 14th, and on their way. All right, Brooks, listen, you and I yesterday were like, ooh, Nate has had a bad day in the soccer world.
3-0 losses for
2
Cincinnati.
3-0 losses for FC Cincinnati.
But it is international break.
US
We had one loss, and it was like at a,
No, you didn't. You played Wednesday night, and then you played Saturday.
and we won Wednesday.
No.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
You lost 3.
No, we did not.
Oh, was it?
Brooks, you misinformed
Did I
me.
misinform that?
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
Ah,
A 3-0 loss last night to DC United for
Okay.
FC Cincinnati. Nate,
We won 3-0 against Toronto.
Oh, okay.
well, hold
And then we
tight.
lost.
We're talking about yesterday. Nate, yesterday your soccer day was not the greatest.
Yeah.
U.S. men's national team tied 1-1. FC Cincinnati lost 3-0. And DC United lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Oh, what a day. What a day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you mean DCFC?
What did I say?
DC United.
Sorry, DC United. Jeez, I just did it again. DCFC. Let's jump back. All right, Eastern Conference. FC Cincinnati still, though, even with that loss, still
I wasn't that
top of the
upset with
division.
that loss. I mean, it was bad.
It happens.
And there was some goalkeeper, like big-time goalkeeper
Can't
mistakes.
win 'em all.
But, yeah, this just is like, is what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Is
You're
what it
on
is.
a streak. It was bound to happen.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that you then got shellacked, but, like, it was bound to happen, you know?
Yeah.
It's very true. Brooks, all right, give it to me. What is standing out about this table right now for you? Is it the FC Cincinnati still leading by a lot up top? Is it Inter Miami with only 5 wins? Is it the Toronto 10 draws? Is it DC United slowly climbing the table now?
I think it's more
7, 5, and 8?
Philadelphia because they were on the bottom of that by that playoff line, and then they kind of turned it around a bit. So they've notched off a few wins and gotten some points, and now they're back into the top 5.
Jim
which is
Curtin
big.
getting his together.
Yes, correct. So
my friend, Jim Curtin.
You're good, buddy.
My good
James
buddy.
Miller.
Close personal.
Close.
Personal
little
friend.
caveat.
Yeah.
Yes.
New
I
York.
believe his exact words were, "Oh my God, you work out. Look at you."
I thought it was.
look how big
oh
you
my
are."
God, you work out. I want you.
No.
No.
That's a little too much.
I mean, you don't know what was behind the beep. It could have been. I
Hey,
want to
how
have a
come
beer
Jim
with
Curtin
you.
won't have an interview with Craig.
That's why.
All right, but back to the board here.
I think Montreal's done well. I
Yeah.
mean, you had a turnover of Wilfred Nancy leaving to Columbus, and you have, Montreal over that playoff line. They weren't at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
So they've really done a good turnaround. That was the former DC United coach that was fired early on, and when Wayne Rooney came in and took over that last year. So that's been a good turnaround for Montreal. They've kind of sold some players. They acquired some new players. Apparently, Victor Wanyama wants to leave. So we'll see if he gets traded during the transfer window in the summertime here from Montreal. But yeah, I mean, Orlando doing well. Atlanta sticking around. In that top 9 right there. That's kind of the big 3 there: Nashville, New England, Cincinnati. I think they're playing pretty consistent this year. So New York Red Bull kind of digging themselves out of the hole. Chicago getting a few wins on Wednesday and Saturday to kind of pull themselves up. We'll see where that goes with that team as well. So
With games coming quick and fast now, Wednesday, Saturday, you can really get yourself out of a hole that you dug yourself in for the first several weeks.
yeah,
This is the time to really
and with
dig in
international
get
window
going.
too.
And with the international window, a lot of teams are going to be missing some of their players, right?
Mhm.
As we jump over to the West, I think a good example of that right now, in my opinion, is LAFC, who started out hot, but in the last couple of games have just kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
Yeah, they're still in second place. Actually, they're tied for
yeah.
first with St. Louis on points with 32.
Yeah, but I think
goal
if they don't get
differential,
their
St.
stuff
Louis.
together here, and this is, as we said, the games come quick and hard. If you all of a sudden find yourself in a little slump, you could drop like a stone because here comes Seattle and Houston on your tail.
Yeah, I know. And Houston's surprised there. I mean, Houston was at the bottom of the Western Conference the past few years, and now they're in a top 5 position. So, Pat Onstad doing a good job turning that around, bringing in Hector Herrera coming in, and some other good acquisitions they made with international players to improve that. Steve Clark coming in and being the starting goalkeeper for them last year and continuing to be the starter. This year, the Mason, Michigan native who went to Oakland University. So,
Shout out.
yes, San Jose hanging around there too. Again, Luchi Gonzalez comes in and he's really kind of turned that San Jose team around a bit. So that's nice to see after Luchi Gonzalez was an assistant with the men's national team, but had a lot of good years at FC Dallas. So that's been good for them. RSL hanging around there. The disappointment, if you really look at the table, probably, Sporting Kansas City's dug themselves out of a hole a little
Yes,
bit.
they
'Cause
have.
They're at the
Yes, they
bottom.
have. Yeah.
But obviously Colorado, LA, Minnesota for how much Adrian Heath is getting paid and all the players they've brought in. They've been doing pretty piss poor lately. Portland's been a bit of a disappointment as well in that 10th spot, but they're always a team, Portland, that they've always played better in the second half of the year for some reason. So, if they can kind of get draws and get a few wins here and there and get above that playoff line, it'll be good. Listen, there's not a lot of points that separate teams in the Western Conference. You can see 4, 5, and 6 are all on 27 points. Dallas has 26 at 7. Austin and Vancouver have 25 at 8 and 9. Portland's got 22. And then the teams below them, KC and Minnesota, have 21. And then it's a bit of a drop there with LA and Colorado at 15, then 14. So.
Yeah, man. Lots of movement in the MLS as we see. It's like we just said it several times. The games are coming quick now. Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. You can really get yourself into a hole if you're not playing right, and you can get yourself out of a hole if you get in the right form and get some wins together. All right, this past week, probably a week and a half, right, Brooks? The MLS Next competition was going, and I believe it was the U15, U16 Michigan Jags boys team.
Yeah, it was the only team from Michigan that made the MLS Next playoffs.
Yeah, they did very well. They
15, 16,
got
17.
2 wins and a loss down there. They lost in the semifinals to the Surf team, was it? Sorry, who was it?
No, Strikers.
Strikers FC. That's it. Who wanted to lose in the final? Who'd they lose in the final to?
So Atlanta United's U16s, who I watched during MLS Next Flex, are a good group.
I watched when they were on Apple TV Plus. I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
That Jags could be seen around the world. These kids, Colton Swan really impressed me. He can put the ball in the net. From the
Good
Jags.
athlete.
Very nice, good athlete. Big boy as well. Got up for some headers. Did well for his positioning.
Yeah, Ren Sylvester did well at this.
Sylvester did very well.
Forward position.
And I have a goal that was sent to us that we'd like to show right here. Let's go ahead and show that. I mean,
Yep. So that was the second goal they scored. That was
a
a
great
good
goal.
job from Logan Lilla to bring the ball back because he had nowhere to go to lay it off to Cade, the other center mid, and then for Cade to cross it in. And that was a very difficult goal from Ren to kind of just, with inside the foot, turn and flick that on and put it over the goalkeeper. That's not an easy shot.
I don't know what I'm more impressed with. The fact that the kid went down the line, saw there was no option, pulled it back, played it back.
Well, did you see the first assist Logan had?
I probably did.
It was really good. I mean, he went down the line, had to really get out of a tight space. He beat a defender, cut back, and then he hit a ball back across the box, and Colton Swan finished the ball and put it in the back of the net. That was the first goal.
Was that the header?
No, that wasn't a header. That was just with his
see that one
feet. Yeah.
I'm impressed with the level of play of these kids, the smarts they have, not only for the Jags, but for the other teams as well they're playing against. It was fun to watch. And the fact that I could sit in my office or sit at home on Apple TV Plus and watch these kids play at a high level, oh, man. Just that is something that's just brand new.
Nate,
I
watch?
think is so
You
cool.
mean you actually had to watch the game instead of put on some highlight 360-esque reel?
I was a little bummed that
You
the
can't do that.
MLS 360 didn't have an MLS Next 360. I would have signed up and I would have done that.
That would be interesting. But the problem is,
done it.
You're what's wrong with the sport today.
I agree.
With all
I
your
100%
highlight
agree
reels. Watch the damn game.
with you. Yeah.
it'd be interesting if they do that down the road because
I think
if
they
they have cameras and everything in every field, you could technically do that.
The only thing that, as Brooks, you and I talked about beforehand, was the commentating I thought was a little bit overly dramatic.
Yes.
They-
Ricky Lopez
they
Espin for you right there.
They pronounced one or two of the names incorrect. It's not hard to go down and learn the kids' names, make sure you say
Or the
them
coach.
right. Or the
head
coach.
coach.
Pete Pazowski. What was it?
Not Pete Pazowski.
Pazowski,
Pete
yes, is what they
Pazowski.
kept calling him.
Pete
Pete,
Pazowski.
that is not us. That was your Apple MLS
Yeah.
Next.
I thought the
announcers.
best out of
Pazowski did a very good job with his team down there.
the
by the
two color commentators, Ricky Lopez Espin and then Jula Anababa. I thought Jula Anababa was a lot better, and I think he was for the second game where Lopez Espin was with the first one. So, yeah, I thought
I think it would be
wasn't
fun
bad.
if they open it up and started to hire some new people. You've got 3 people here who would love to do that. We love talking about soccer, and we may make it a little bit more entertaining because I thought they were too dramatic in the wrong areas, and I was wondering if they'd
Well, it's
played
just
the
like
sport.
they've acted like they've seen these teams forever when they've probably watched a few videos, and you know what I mean. And I get it. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
listen, you're doing this.
I know.
You got a bunch of games. It's not easy, but I don't know how much
maybe
I don't know how much digging they're
I'm
doing.
just
in.
being a little cynical, right? I expect the best, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see the Jags down there, though. The only disappointing thing, and I think this is a contractual thing, is they were playing in the old uniforms. Whatever. I'm a big fan of the new uniform. If you can see. Can you guys see that?
We can.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I got a brand new uniform.
If I was commentating those games, I'd get really excited for things that virtually didn't make any difference. I'd be like, "Oh my God, look at that throw in!" Stellar throw in. And a pass back.
Only you.
And a pass back.
Oh,
He's scanning. He's scanning. Plays it back. My God.
Would you comment on the referee too?
only you, Mike.
What a yellow card
I'd
he
be like,
threw.
oh, look at him trot down the field like a true champ.
Yes.
Look at the linesman. Oh my God. Down the line, holding his wrist at a perfect angle, and then the offsides. Well done, linesman.
Yes.
Perfect 90-degree upright offside flag.
Look at how he handled that parent that was belittling
Crisp.
him.
Ah, the little.
Crisp
Yes.
wave from the
Yes.
linesman of the flag.
Look at the fourth official, how he just waves away Pipazowski.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
he
they
is
kept
a,
saying his name wrong.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre. All right, boys, listen. We are going to make it a very quick break. We're going to show you just 2 little commercials from our partners in crime. That's it. We'll be right back. Not the full 5 minutes today, just 2 little quick ones. Be right back. This is what pays the bills. Stick around. Stick around. We got more to come, guys. Lots more to come. All right, here we go.
Change tempo, yes, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, yes.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Fuck, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right, thanks for coming back. Quick break there. Thank you again to Next Level Training and Soccer World. We are going to be doing some videos very soon. Very soon. That'll make sense in a minute. For Dog and Pony Show Brewing and the Michigan Jags. The Michigan Jags. Again, we're in
French
New
now?
Jersey. Huh?
I said we're French now.
Nope. Long lost family.
You're English, Craig. Come on.
I am English.
Nate's German. And
all
I'm
right.
Polish.
All right. Coming up on this side, this hour of the We Are Soccer. No, excuse me. The weekly recap extravaganza show from We Are Soccer.
Did we change the name again?
No, it's the same name every week, man.
I swear you're
Weekly
changing it.
Recap.
He keeps adding, doesn't he? He adds and tweaks. It's
He wants
changed.
biscuits and jam.
He does want biscuits and jam.
Did anybody bring any? I'm kind of hungry.
Do you want tea?
Ooh. Now you got me. My ears perked up.
That's the key word, tea.
Yeah. All right.
Shit drink.
Anybody here a big fan of pizza?
I am.
Ooh, yes. All right. Well, we might have some shipped over, my friend, because you know where pizza comes from?
Italy?
Yes, sir.
It's also very American as well.
No, it was originated in America. But
Correct.
That's
yes.
crap. I don't believe that for a second. All right,
It is.
boys.
I've watched a lot of the history food.
All right, boys. I just want to let you know our show has become very popular. People
in India.
in everywhere, to be honest, everywhere around the world. We get thousands of views weekly. Our show has become so popular that I am now getting video submissions from people around the world. I'm getting messages from people around the world. It's crazy. I want to show you this new one. I'm not sure. I don't see the resemblance. You tell me. We will see. All right. Watch this video, and then, folks, you tell me if you think this fella's related to me. Hiya, Craig. How are you? My name is Paolo Hearn. I was watching the YouTubes and came across your We Are Soccer show. It's kind of funny with you and the tall guy and the small muscly guy. Very good soccer intelligence. Mamma mia! If only we had some of the soccer intelligence here in Italy. My papa watched your show too, and then we remembered we had heard that we had family members in America. So we looked it up, and oh my gosh, you and me, we are related. Third cousins removed. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, so good. I just wanted to say hello and to tell you that Roma is the best club in Italy. And that if you visit Italy, you and me, we will have to have some wine. Now I have a joke for you. Here's a very good joke. Pay attention. What do you call a bee that lives in America? A USB. Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, ciao. I don't know. Again, I'm not seeing the resemblance. I get these. I think that's a fake. I don't think he's really related to me at all. He may have seen the show. I mean,
Plastic surgery he got?
yeah, you know what? There's people in the world that go and get plastic surgery to look like other people or to look like
spies.
Ken and Barbie and stuff. That dude might have just seen our show and was like, I got to get plastic surgery and look like this dude. I don't know.
Or
Or he might be related.
the movie Face Off.
Oh, God.
I've never seen that movie.
Am I really talking to
Is
Craig
that a
Hearn
90s
right now?
movie?
Or am I... What? You never seen Face Off?
No, is
Dude,
that
you remember how old Brooks is. He's like 14.
is that a 90s movie that I need to add to my list? Along with Bloodsport?
Do you want to throw something at him or you want me to throw something at
You've
him?
never seen Face Off?
I have not. Who's in that?
Wait. You didn't go home and see Bloodsport. We gave you homework.
I know. Victor's really upset too about that.
You need to go. And okay, yeah, we're going to get to that later. Paolo Hearn, apparently is his name. He does have kind of this weird Swedish, French, Italian, Mexican, Arab.
That's what Don thinks.
So he's kind of like you. He's not really from the country he claims to be from.
I don't know the guy. Again, I don't.
Well,
I don't think
mean,
he
you have a
looks
lot in
anything like
common.
me.
Like you walk around claiming you're from England.
Yeah.
You're
do,
clearly not.
Kyle or Glenn know this man?
Yeah.
They never heard of him either.
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Does he
long
think
lost
Ronaldo
third
sucks?
cousin removed. I mean, everybody thinks Ronaldo sucks in our family. So actually, shit. Now he might actually be related to me. You know what? I think what's gonna happen is
Did you ask your dad about how?
No, not yet.
Does he not pass the ball?
See, now, these are questions we need to write down because Paolo messaged me again after the video and said he wants to do a Zoom meeting with me. So
Does he take his shirt off while he plays and tries to give it to the other team?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you know.
Does he like, because he's from Rome, does he like the Spartans?
By the way, you know
Sure.
that wasn't
Yes.
Rome or anywhere near Rome.
I don't know.
What's that exactly?
Hey, you tell Paolo. Don't tell me.
I will.
You don't tell me. You tell Paolo. Anyway,
You know Rome is a landlocked city.
Sure.
Yeah. And
I would.
and what would
Have you
be-
been there?
Me.
Yes. And what would be the city in Italy that's surrounded by water where they ride those gondolas?
Venice?
Venice?
Yeah. And you know where Venice is, right?
No idea, man.
Well, it's good, like 6 hours away.
Listen, I will
4 to
message
6
with
hours
Paolo and I will let him know this. Maybe he was visiting. Maybe his Mamma Mia was there. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, moving on.
So what would the team in Venice be? Venezia?
Yeah, I believe so. No, they have a
They got a couple teams, obviously. Yeah, they got a couple teams. All right, boys, listen. Back to the serious news. We got a lot of transfers and news to talk about. Biscuits, as we talked about, obviously going to Inter Milan. Wilfred Zaha is rumored to be going all over the world. This guy, I think, needs to stay in the Premiership. Saudi Arabia has been in contact with him. I believe Barcelona have been in contact with him. I think he needs to stay at one of the big boy clubs in the Premiership, but he has got suitors all over the world. Brooks, I'm sure there's somewhere you would love to see him go.
Inter Miami.
Zaha? No, he's still in his prime. He needs to stay over there.
Smartest thing you've ever said, my friend.
He needs to go to Italy. No, wait.
Italy?
Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I think he's too quick for the Bundesliga.
No, I don't think it's.
Would he be good at Bayern Munich?
Well, the problem is
No, I don't
where
Or would he find a place at Dortmund?
where does he fit in? I don't think he fits. I don't think he fits in any of those clubs, and I don't think they're going to spend the money to get him.
Yeah, I don't think that's
That's
money.
so that's the
Ah,
problem.
the
with-
It's not spending the money
Yeah.
to get him, it's
Yeah.
spending the money to pay him because he is on a free now. He's let his contract expire from what I understand.
Yes.
But paying him is going to be the problem.
Just don't go to France.
Yeah, but again,
Unless you go to Nice.
PSG are going to come
With
calling.
Schmeichel.
All right, now you've
at the
led me
wine
into the
vineyard.
next one. You've led me into the next one.
Yes.
Rumors of Lyon coming in for Pulisic.
Oh.
That would
What
be
do we
a
think about
great
that?
move for him to go, never to be heard of from.
Yes, agreed. That's the exact same thing I said. He goes there, we're never going to freaking hear about
Does
him.
he
again.
want to own a
We're gonna hear
winery? Is that what's going on?
No.
He's looking at past soccer. He's looking for his like guys eventually get into their career. Like I made enough money from soccer. I need to get into my other stuff to get my passive income.
At 24, he's looking past soccer.
Yeah.
All right, I will say this with the Leon Pulisic rumors. I think, and this is going to be a horrible thing to say, he moved.
Are they
this
in
past
Champions
year.
League?
Doesn't matter.
Uno momento,
Doesn't
por
matter.
favor.
In the past year, what company did Pulisic move from and to?
By the way, Lyon is American owned.
That's the reason why the connection's there.
Yes.
But what company did he move from? Adidas to
Puma.
Puma. Do you think Puma's going to have a say at where he goes?
Hope not.
Well, I mean, AC Milan's the front runner. Who is Puma? So that could be a possibility.
You nailed it. I think there could be a, hey, remember.
How about
we
Brooks
pay you
always
X
said
amount of
AC Milan.
years.
So Lyon is not in the Champions League. They're not in Europe at all.
Wow.
They finished
And no one will follow Lyon no matter if Pulisic goes there. I think he needs to stay in the Premiership. He needs to be at a Brighton and Aston Villa, a Wolves, a team in that tier. We'll call it the mid-range tier for those teams right now, right? I don't think he goes to a Newcastle, a Man United, a Chelsea, obviously that Chelsea, a Tottenham. I think he needs to go just that next level down, a team that's playing in Europa League, but has a big enough following that Puma goes, yep, that's cool, that's good.
He's going to go to Juventus, and Juventus is going to become the new American team.
They're already talking about Tim Way. I don't
They
know if
are.
you had that on the
Yep,
docket.
Way
But
is
then now
on
they're
our
talking about
docket.
loaning out McKennie to Roma, apparently, because Jose Mourinho wants him.
So McKennie out, Weah in, Pulisic in,
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 1 step back, I guess is what it would be.
Brendan Aronson to Juventus is okay as
Brendan
well.
Aronson to Juventus absolutely makes absolutely no sense, by the way,
I would
to me.
He fits well in the Italian game, but not Juventus.
No, I don't think he does.
I would kind of back to McKennie to Roma. The way
Interesting.
with
Roma.
Especially how Jose plays.
what Jose's doing down there, and they're relevant. They're playing in competitions. Jose wants to win. They got a decent squad.
Yep.
I like what they're doing down there, and I don't think that's a cast off to nowhere.
I think
It's a big club in Italy as
Oh,
well.
it is a
it's
big
a big club,
They
very
just
well known
picked up-
history.
They just picked up 2 Leeds players, by the way, already.
Yes.
1 out of contract, 1 they had to buy as part of the getting relegated clause for that player. So they've just picked up 2 players. I think they would have made it 3. They would have put a whole bargain, a whole little bundle as what is the insurance company? We're gonna bundle this together.
Yeah.
I think they would have done that
Progressive?
already. I don't see Aronson going there. I gotta be honest. I see Aronson going.
That was
to
McKenny.
Leeds. I think Leeds stay there. Are you saying
That was McKenny.
McKenny to
Leeds
Roma?
To Roma.
McKenny to Roma.
Oh, apologies. Don't see that happening for some weird reason.
I see
don't
Aronson
know.
leaving Leeds, and same with Tyler Adams. I know.
I see
I'm-
Adams leaving.
I
see
bet no
Aronson
Americans stay at Leeds, though there won't be an American on the Leeds roster come this fall.
staying. I think, and I hate to say this, I think the championship, I think Tyler Adams and Aronson would thrive in the championship, but I don't see Tyler Adams is too good. I think he'll leave. He'll go to one of the clubs that are interested in him because there's a handful of clubs at the 27 million pound mark right now that are bidding on him. Aronson, I think, stays there. I think he will do very well in the championship with Leeds. I think he would leave next season. I don't know. I just they can't sell everybody. Leeds
Yeah,
cannot sell
I think
everybody. They
they're-
got to keep a hold of some of those
I
players.
think
Yeah, I know, but they can sell him for a decent amount of money, and in return, you can find
What's a
guys.
decent amount of money that Aronson's worth?
See, I don't think Arison's worth all that much.
Right.
So they're putting him at. I've seen the. Oh,
I'll tell you right now.
If
but
Adams is at the
Oh, they
25
said
million mark,
they're
Aronson's
thinking they may loan Aaron. The rumors are Fulham may want him on a loan.
I've seen that, the Fulham one. I've seen that. I don't know. And then the rumor is that Jedi Robinson is heading off to Man City, replacing Kyle Walker, who's going to.
I think that'd be a good move
Bayern
for
Munich.
him. I think that could be a possibility. He's athletic enough.
I got to be honest. I thought.
well, at the same
go ahead,
time,
Nate.
they're talking about extending Kyle Walker at Man City. So
trying to
Isn't there
be.
rumors of Kyle Walker to Bayern?
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah,
was,
yeah.
but
Hold
then
on.
It's being reversed. That Kyle Walker stays at City.
Kyle Walker
He's
apparently
got
is
1 year left on his contract.
unhappy that he got dropped for big games. Now, if you'll remember, he played in the semifinals. Both matches against Real Madrid started there because Vinicius Jr.'s on the left, so Kyle Walker played on the right to negate Vinicius Jr.'s speed.
and
And he
plus-
did a fantastic job. But then in the final, he was dropped. He did not play in the
Munich
final.
just picked up a left back.
And
Yeah.
who, sorry, what?
Guerrero.
Guerrero from Dortmund.
Yep.
Who picked him up?
Munich.
Munich.
So,
Kyle Walker plays right back.
Correct.
But
but you
Like
also have
Kimmich always
Alphonso-
plays back
Alphonso
there, too.
Davies
Yeah.
that's still on that team.
I think Kyle Walker is just a little upset because he got dropped for some big games, but he also had some little bit of legal issues, right? Like flashing in the club. Weird. But I still see him sticking around Manchester because he has such good friends there. You guys seen the picture of him helping Jack Grealish into Grealish's house? Jack Grealish could barely stand up after the Champions League final because he got so
I
drunk.
did not see that.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He has a lot of friends in Manchester, but he is still a little unhappy. I think if the Bundesliga come calling, I think it could be next year. But here's one I do see. I do see Jedi Robinson actually maybe making the move to Manchester because he is so fast and he can help cover. He can help cover the center back, and they love speed. Kyle Walker plays on the outside because of his speed, not because of his defensive skills. Listen, Jedi Robinson is not the best defender in the world, but he is quick, and his athletic ability and his speed make up for his lack of defending.
Well, he's
I
got
could
service. from
see that actually
side.
going there.
He'll finally get some service from that left side. You know, not that they didn't really, but like I mean, it kind of helps break up the monotony of just playing through everyone every time and maybe getting him some service. You know, if Holland stays, then there you go. You know
Well,
what I mean?
Holland's not going anywhere this
Yeah.
year. But let me ask you this, Brooks. We've had this conversation many a times. If Jedi Robinson does go to Manchester City, as is there's a small rumor out there, right? It's not very large. It's not really being reported too much. If he does go there, are you for it or against it? Because he's not going to be the starter, in my opinion. He's not going to start 50 games. He's going to start 20 at the most.
I'm fine.
And
with
he's gonna sit on the
He's a
bench for
field
the first
player.
year.
It's different.
Okay,
It's different for a field player.
you're all
that's
right with
fine.
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm fine with that. You can learn from a really good coach. You bring something back to the boys when you play.
okay,
You know what I mean? I think it only helps your teammates.
okay.
You know
I'm
what
all
I
right.
mean?
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because we've had these discussions before. I think Matt Turner
It's always been for goalkeeper.
centered, mostly around our
Stefan.
goalkeepers. Yeah, and Stefan, you're right. There's a lot of other rumors out there. Let me see here. I do like the one that Heung-min Son turned down Saudi Arabia. That's brilliant.
You like Yunus Musa to Sassuolo? I kind of want to. I mean,
don't know.
I think I don't know if he would play the Liverpool rumors if he would play there. I would kind of rather see him go to like Inter Milan or AC Milan if that was possible. Yunus Musa.
I'd like to see him stay where he's at. It's a decent.
Didn't
club.
Valencia get relegated?
Valencia. I thought they were still.
I think they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So I like
Yeah.
the
Never
rumor
mind.
to Inter Milan. I think that works out well. Inter Milan, Brozovic is heading to Saudi Arabia reportedly. They've got another player that's heading out of town. They actually don't need to sell players. Inter Milan are in a very good financial position compared to a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
which Nate, we all kind of swapped text today about Onana, the Inter Milan goalie, possibly being on the Manchester United radar. I don't think they sell him. I think Inter Milan stick to him unless a silly offer comes in because, again, Inter Milan don't need the money right now. They're in a good financial position.
I'm willing.
I don't think he's a good enough goalkeeper to make it to the Premiership personally, but
I'm willing to bet that they just re-signed De Gea. They're just
Yeah.
Probably.
that's the rumor is that he's fine. Everything's kind of worked out. They're just waiting
Yeah.
for the ownership thing to solidify so they know what to do.
So hold on, let me make sure I understand. They've agreed to re-sign him. Everybody's good. We're just waiting for ownership, and then we'll officially do the handshake and signing.
Unofficially, that's
Yeah.
the rumor. Yeah, is
Okay,
that everything
okay.
is
I understand
flat out ready to go. They're
Yeah.
just waiting to to know what's going on with the ownership group before anything else is actually done.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of the situation, at least as of a few weeks ago, which makes sense considering I believe he's out of contract and not even rumored to go anywhere else.
Correct. Agreed.
So
All right.
the few other American ones that I've seen here, I do like that Pepe is looking like he's going to agree to terms with
That
PSV.
looks like it's pretty much a done deal now. There's just some final
That is
details.
We've
done
talked
deal.
about
That's a
that.
done
I
deal.
think that's
Yeah.
good for him to stay in the Eredivisie. It'll be good for him. He'll get playing time. You can play against the big teams like Feyenoord, Ajax.
Yes.
Hopefully, you get into some European competitions. I think
The
usually they're in
Eredivisie
Europa.
is actually
Europa
a
League.
decent
Yes.
league, I think. And if I had to say, it's above the MLS.
Yeah.
In skill level, so I think that's a good move for him. I think he will thrive there. I think,
Yes.
and PSV is an Ajax are the two big clubs there. Very good move for him.
Yeah, and
Okay.
PSV is in the Champions League qualification right
Yep.
now.
Oh wow. Okay.
So good move for him.
The
That's a done deal. Go ahead.
Ridiculous rumor is Taylor Booth to Man United. Screw that. He's not good enough to be in Man United. And just because he scored some goals at FC Utrecht or whatever,
Where?
Yeah.
it's in the Eredivisie.
Never heard of her.
Her.
Never.
Okay.
She's ugly.
Utrecht from the Netflix series The Last Kingdom. Nice.
There you
I
go.
have
like
no idea
that.
what that was you just said.
Yeah,
so let's
yeah.
keep
And how
moving.
about
He's a Danish guy.
I don't agree
Torn
that
between two worlds.
you do have that voice, Nate. We could get you to do the intro.
In a world.
Yeah, we should get you to do in a world
Where
where soccer
Tyler-
hijinks is needed.
Where Tyler Booth goes to Man United.
Taylor Booth.
Taylor Booth, him too.
His brother. I
His
mean.
brother.
He actually does have a brother. It's Taylor and
You
I
say
forgot
Tyler?
the other
Please
Booth.
say Tyler,
I forgot,
yeah.
No, it's not. I forgot what the other Booth brother's
damn it.
name
We
is.
should
They both
petition
play at
to have his name
RSL.
changed.
And
Onwards.
then Tyler Adams possibly to Aston Villa, Craig.
Yeah. Again, we've
would.
talked about this. I don't see that actually.
Oh my
happening.
God! If
Nate
I
loves
was,
it.
if I was Man United, that's the guy I would get. He's good. He's a solid. He's performed well. You cannot take him. I'm good.
I will tell
cannot-
you-
You pass him up. We'll take him at United.
Eh.
Train him under Casemiro, and in 2 years he'll be the man at what 24.
I can tell you.
I think he's 23 right now,
So
so he'll still,
25?
yeah, you'll get him in his prime.
That'd be awesome.
I can tell you right now.
And you
that
can rub it in
that
Craig's face when
deal-
Man United win a Premier League.
That
title.
deal to Man United is not happening because if the rumor price is $25 million, which is a good price for him, I think. If that is the rumored price, I think Man United would have snapped him up by now and have been a done deal.
I don't know. I think
I
there's
think
a lot of
he's biding.
stalling.
They're biding his time.
There's a lot of stalling at Man United because his whole.
They want to get the big signings first too.
Well, it's a whole ownership in flux. I mean, like
Yes.
you could say the same thing. Like, why haven't they snatched up Sabitzer, who like, clearly wanted to stay? He's
Yep.
going back. You know, what's going on? Well, the Mont situation was is everyone knows what's going on there. I think, or we can cover it if you want.
Yes.
But you know, it's
The Mason Mount deal, it looks like
Draw a line
Chelsea
in the
want
sand.
more money. They've said, no, we don't want to take anything
Yeah.
less than 65. Man United have offered 50. They're in an impasse right now. And this is what happens when two big clubs try to sell to each other.
If Caicedo goes, I would
to
like
F
to
each
see
other.
Brighton try to jump in for Adams.
well. Here's the thing,
That's a good call, yeah.
now it's Caicedo possibly United is now the rumor that they're looking to jump in because Chelsea kind of needed the Mont deal in order to pay for Caicedo.
Yep.
And I don't think they're going to get him, but I think that's a great bit of like, Oh, all right. I see what you want to do.
So I think Chelsea have called that bluff and said you're not going to pay $80 million for Caicedo, and when you're haggling with us over about $10 million for Mount.
Is Caicedo better and has more ups? Is Caicedo better and does he have more upswing than Mount?
I'm probably the only person in the world who thinks the more upswing is for Mount.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Caicedo. I think $80 million is too much for him. That's just my personal opinion. I would prefer to have Mount. I think Mason Mount's a better player. One player that I cannot believe hasn't been sold and done yet is Madison. James Madison from
Leicester.
City. Yeah, I'm surprised no one snapped him up. There's a lot of people.
I thought he was pretty much good to go for
Tottenham, right?
I thought Newcastle.
Newcastle
Maybe.
were on the radar, but
It was
they seem to have cooled. But
Madison?
now it is Tottenham who are hot on his heels.
Who was it?
Enough-
Madison and another guy, Barnes. Was it both of them
Ashley
that wanted?
Barnes, yes, sir.
That wanted to go to the same team or something.
Yes.
There were a couple teams that wanted
Yep.
both of them.
I'm surprised neither of them got snapped up. I think we are one or two dominoes away from falling over for the rest of them. But
think
the only thing that really holds it up to me, Nate, and you called it, is for Manchester United anyway, is the ownership piece. And it's strange that it has died down in the last week, I would say. So we'll see. Maybe there's behind the scenes.
And it could be that everyone's waiting for someone to pick up Rice and how that deal is going to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if Rice goes for buku dollars,
which he will.
and then they could offer, they could try to snag buku dollars for their players,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
That's how that works. On the flip side, if you're buying and Rice doesn't go for buku dollars, say he goes for something reasonable, 80, 90,
Sure.
you could use that against the seller. So it's probably you're in a game of buyer seller waiting for, all right, what's going to happen with that guy, because that's going to set the market for midfielders.
So I think there's 4 players right now that when 1 to 2 of them the dominoes fall, it's Osimhen, it's Rice, it's Kane, and it's Mbappe.
Yeah.
The rumor is Mbappe to Real Madrid, Osimhen from Napoli to PSG, Kane to stay at Tottenham, and Rice to go to
I've
Arsenal.
seen Osimhen been linked with Man United and a couple other ones still in play.
I think Man United plan on getting a little bit more work done in their midfield, like the Mason Mount deal, and then going there. I think honestly, what Man United is waiting for is one of the other bigger deals to go through to set the bar for the price for them to then go and offer a Kane or a Osimhen. But I don't see them winning on any of them. I don't see them winning on any of them.
Or that Hageland or Hageland, the Danish striker who's 20 for Atalanta.
That's probably at this point, Nate, who they will end up with.
It could be. I'm good with that.
I don't know if they're going to miss out or just avoid
I don't know.
big sales and the $100 million it's going to cost for a Osimhen, a Kane, or an Mbappe, or anything like that.
But the upswing on that
I'm not
guy
saying
is
it's a bad thing.
incredible. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The upswing
Oh, yeah.
on him is, that's if it pans out, your guy for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And then if you could then pick up another maybe veteran-ish more striker to complement or go with, for the year, wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, again, in my view, where I look at United, I don't think they have a forward right now. They don't have enough.
They absolutely do not, and that should be, as we talked about in our group text today with Mr. Danny Price, that has got to be their priority.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be priority 1. You can miss out on a Mason Mount. You can miss out on a Tyler Adams. You can miss out on the Napoli center back. But if you come out of this window without a striker, at least a striker with some acumen and can put the ball in the back of the net, you're going to be. Imagine if Rashford goes down with an injury in the first couple of weeks. Then
that's not true.
You're relying on Greenwood.
But we got Sancho. He's good. No, but at the same time, you could also do the city route, which get everything.
Play the false 9?
No. Well, get everything in place, have all the players in place, and then go get that final piece too. You know what I mean?
You mean next year go get that final piece like they did? I mean,
because that's what City did, right?
Absolutely. Everybody, and I think I was the only one who said this. Like, they bought Jack Grealish for $100 million, and they said, for a year, we will wait because we know what we're going to do next year. It's either going to be Mbappe or Haaland, and they went and got Haaland, and they set it up because Grealish became a hell of a player this year. And I said, just wait till they get that final striker in place because it's not Jesus. I think you are right, Nate. They may be setting it up this year to go get a Mason Mount. They maybe go get another player, maybe go get a center back, and then next year go get the big striker who comes available. But the big difference there is Manchester City have a B team that could beat almost any other A team in the league.
But-
They are so stocked full of players on a secondary plan. I don't think
But they
that
got there
it might be a mistake
But they got there by building and building and building, and then
over the course of several years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
according to what Eric Tag Hag has said, is he's not going to just get someone to get someone. That's why they loaned.
Yeah.
That's why they brought Waghorse in as a loan, because none of the guys that they wanted as a forward were available for what they wanted them at. So they brought in just a piece to stopgap it in case someone went down, which happened. And then they had him roll out, and he did crap, and now he's gone. So they're not going to buy someone to just buy someone. They're not going to buy a 9 because they need a 9. They want to get their guys in place in order to make it all work. So.
Great. One other player who the price has been slapped with today is a £45 million price tag. New U.S. men's national team player Flo Balogun.
Florian Balogun.
Florian Balogun, £45 million is what it will cost you to grab him and put him on your team away from Arsenal. I think that's a bit high. I think Arsenal have said, we're going to put this price tag on him because we really don't want to sell him. Nate, you called it the other day. When you don't want to sell something, what do? You put a very high price tag on someone, and if someone happens to come in and meet that, you go, oh, all right, great, we'll take it because that's fine. I don't know if he's worth $45 million. Brooks, is he worth £45 million? One of the top goal scorers in the French league, loaned from Arsenal last year. One of the top goal scorers. He does have some flaws. He missed some easy goals. Could have got a lot more. His assists were okay, not great.
Strikers are paid to score goals, Craig, not get assists.
I agree.
Come on, Craig, you're a
But
center forward.
is he worth £45 million?
It's probably a little high.
Or is that just the mark to say this is where we start negotiating at?
I think it's a little high for him at 45. I'd probably say between 30 and 35 would probably be the better price for me.
I would be inclined to go just a little less, 25 to 30. You could probably get him for 25 with an add-on or two. I don't know where the best spot for him is. I think it's going to be
I think not a Premier League team.
I think it's a Premier League team. I think he wants to play in the Premier League. I think it's going to be the best for him. But I think it's that second-tier Premier League team, a Brighton, a Villa, a Wolves.
He needs people around him. I think right now he needs people around him to make him
I think a good
player he
spot.
could be.
Agree.
So it's funny you say that, because what
Bundesliga?
team was he playing for? He wasn't playing for a really good team
He was
in
not
France.
playing for a great team.
And he still scored the 5th most.
Who was he
goals.
with? He was with not
Reims.
Marseille.
He was with Reims.
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 Mhm.
Rammies. So it's not like it's not a world beater type.
Where did they
team.
finish in the table? Were they top 5?
They finished. Un momento, por favor.
I think a good landing spot for him would be
They
Wolves, by the
finished
way.
11th.
Okay.
So,
he kept them alive.
yeah. So that's what I mean. And you look at his age.
He did
And
score
you look at
goals
the
against top
upswing.
players too.
It's.
I think he wants to make that next step. I think he says, I was the top 5 goal scorer in the French league. Whoop-de-doo. That's a good thing. I want to go to the Premiership and I want to make my mark there, but it's probably not going to be with Arsenal. I think a good landing spot is Wolves for him, who just lost Neves to Saudi Arabia. I think they could end up coming because they're going to need a nice striker. I think they could come for him. I think that'd be a
Dortmund need a
great spot.
striker?
Another second-tier team.
Dortmund need a striker?
No.
No, I don't think Bundesliga is a good spot. I think he is English, so he grew up in England.
Dortmund is actually the one team doesn't need a striker.
Technically, I guess Munich does, yeah.
Munich does, but they're not going to.
They're not going to go
They're
for
not gonna
someone
go
at that level. They're going to go top. They're going to go top level. They want big boy strikers, not
Yeah, because
you're one of the top players in the French league.
he's not going to be a difference between Gnabry or
Inter? He's better than Lukaku, and Dzeko's gone.
Man.
No, I think so.
That's not a bad
Lukaku
idea.
wants to be at Inter, and Inter
See?
want Lukaku. Now they're just.
I like that Inter call
Mhm.
out. They just basically no, but Lukaku is not going to. I think Chelsea said they're not going to sell, or they're saying right now they're not going to sell Lukaku to Inter. But right now Inter doesn't have a striker.
And
Not bad. AC
AC Milan really only has Giroud because Zlatan retired, so
Yeah.
one of Milan's right. Go play Pulisic at Milan.
Yeah. Yeah, go play with Pulisic.
AC Milan.
Hey, that might be a deal right there.
Team
you know,
America.
Brozovic on the left is just leaving Inter because he's going to Saudi Arabia.
Get him
So
McKennie.
Pulisic could end up playing at Inter Milan on the left, and you could end up bringing Balogun up top as the friends.
And get McKennie.
And Yunus Musa.
McKinney.
Get McKennie.
Yeah.
Get Jess. Team America.
Again, Inter don't
What's
have
Bob
to
Bradley
sell
doing?
players, but they're losing players. Actually, you know what? That's something we didn't talk about earlier, did we? About
We
the
did not. We missed Michael
you know,
Bradley's
we did. We
coaching
missed it. I want to jump
licenses.
in and talk about that in a minute. I don't
You
want to.
mean the future U.S. men's national team coach in 4 years.
Nailed it.
Bradley?
Nailed it. All right, let's finish up some transfers and moves. Is there any other moves we missed here that we want to talk about? On my list was Pepe, Zaha, Biscuits, as you are now calling him, Pulisic, Balogun, Mbappe, Osimhen, Kane.
I don't know if Almada from Atlanta United has any. I don't think anything's been said too much about that. But I
have
wonder.
not seen a
I
single
wonder
thing
if
about
he
him.
moves in the summer transfer window because I'm sure some European team is looking for a World Cup winner that's done well in MLS.
And how come the Brandon Vasquez rumors have died down?
That's
What's
a good
happening
question.
there?
I don't know.
Guy's still scoring goals in MLS, right? Nate still putting the ball in the net for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Why have those rumors died down?
Because
Does
Germany was the destination for him. They were talking about.
would,
Wouldn't it be
would an
bad as-
Eredivisie or a La Liga team not be better for him to go to? for
I'd
a
like to
couple
see him in
years?
Germany because I think it's good for him to go against big, tough physical center backs.
As the American representative of Stuttgart, I would welcome
Mr. Brandon Vasquez.
Mr. Brandon Vasquez
To Stuttgart.
to Stuttgart. I will barter this deal and get it
Does
done.
Frankfurt need someone?
Screw Frankfurt. No, not right now. Actually, they got a really good forward. That actually is the link, unless they sell him to Munich. But no, they're solid at top. There.
Wasn't Vasquez linked to? Was it Werder Bremen?
Yes, that was the link earlier in the year.
Yes.
Bremen.
Earlier this summer that just nothing seems to have come of that. Again, Almeida, Vasquez, there was someone else in the MLS who was rumored to be on someone.
Miles Robinson. They talked maybe he'd go over to Europe because they think maybe that's
Yes.
the time to sell him. I don't think an EPL team would be.
As
Suitable for him?
That's too high.
But I would love to
Level's
see him
too
in
high.
Bundesliga or
As the-
La Liga.
As the American representative of Stuttgart, I'd like to welcome Miles Robinson to the team. I will go
Yes.
ahead and barter. And we lost a center back. We got rid of Anton. We got a spot for him. Come on over,
There you
man. Come on over. Yeah, you and Ito and can do a great pairing there. There's one guy we haven't talked about.
Who's that?
The big city rumor of Gravidol.
Yes.
Jasko,
Yes.
the,
Yes.
the 100 million plus center back who's 6'1" and 21 years old, who's been playing for Croatia.
We do need to get to a U.S. women's national team at some point
Yep.
too.
Yeah. I got that on my
Yeah,
list. That's next.
actually
by
one
the
of
way.
our viewers said we need to.
Yep, we got
Yeah.
that next. That is coming up in about
Yeah.
120 seconds. I do got some stuff on that. The U.S. women's team. We got the roster. We'll break down.
Yeah.
The Gravidol to City. And Vlahovic, by the way, the striker from Juventus, Vlahovic was high on everybody's radar, and now that's gone.
That's a weird one too, because they need to
Everybody's
sell
backed
players.
off. Yeah.
So,
everybody's
but
backed
with
off that.
with Gravidol, it's an interesting one.
From Leipzig to City. Sorry,
Yep,
go ahead.
because they in 2022 they just right before the World Cup extended his deal to like 2027.
That's because now before the World Cup he was playing well, and then at the World Cup
Yeah.
he had a good World
Yeah,
Cup.
he had a
But
great one.
Was it Messi who just diced and sliced him?
Nope.
Someone diced him. Someone diced him so bad that he even in the press conference admitted, he's like, oh, yeah, that was my bad. I can't remember. I have to go back and find that video. But that is a big one. That's another £100 million move they're
100
about to make.
plus. They're saying minimum 100. They're saying they want him to be the highest bought center back. They're not motivated to sell him. They got him till 2027, and he's fine with staying. He's even said, "I'm fine with staying. It's good
Yeah.
for my career. I'm
Yeah,
fine with it."
yeah.
You know. So, but if City wants him, apparently they talked and their personal terms are agreed. If they want, he's got there. It's going to be the highest paid center back transfer, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
In the world.
And who is
In the world.
Can you guys look up? I
Which,
can't.
by the way, Jude Bellingham was the 5th highest.
Yeah.
So now you got to see all the money that's coming out of the
Oh, yeah,
Bundesliga
yeah.
for all the, my farm league that's apparently crap and nobody watches, right? But Jude Bellingham was the 5th highest paid transfer in the history of the world as well.
Who is the center midfielder, the creative left-sided center midfielder for Napoli. Can one of you guys look that up? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think he will. He's a bearded fella, young guy.
Bearded fella.
Bearded fella.
Are you talking about the Greek guy?
Yeah.
You're going to make me pronounce that guy's name?
Pronounce that name for me.
Oh, my God.
This is like a
No.
challenge.
There's V's in the name,
I know.
Craig.
I know. I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
No one knows how. And he's actually from Georgia.
Do you want me to try?
Good luck.
Can I have
What?
your phone?
First
Hold on. Before you say his name, I predict him at some point moving to City. By the way, he is a center midfielder, kind of a left.
He's a left wing.
Yeah, see,
22-year-old left winger from
Bingo.
Georgia, whose market value right now is $91 million.
Bingo.
Because
I expect him to go to City and take over for Gundogan. By the way, what's his name?
He's a left wing. He'd be taking over for Jack Grealish.
You can move him inside. I've seen him play inside. I've seen him play inside. He's very crafty, and plus you can move you can move Foden inside. Anyway, what's his name?
Left wing center forward. Kavak.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was just totally knocked over my.
Sorry, my bad. Glad that was empty. Good luck.
Kavicha
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
That was
that's
pretty
why
good.
We will look into that.
Anyone Georgian?
I can see him at some point make it into
tell
the
me if I
Premiership.
pronounced it right.
He is a good player. He is a crafty
From Atlanta,
player.
Georgia.
Yes.
Georgia.
Let's just
It
go
says
with
Georgia. Yeah.
Yes. All right. We are going to talk now about the Women's World Cup. Before we do that, though, please again do me a huge favor. Give these partners of ours a like. Find their pages. You can find them on our group, on our Facebook group, Soccer World, or you can visit them at soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Next Level Training. They are the best trainers in the country, not just here in Michigan, but in the country. There is a reason Dwan Jones comes and trains here. There's Brandon Bai, Chloe Ricketts. They come here to Michigan to train with Next Level Training, and they credit with them with a lot of their success. Next Level Training. They got a camp coming up. They got camps coming up this summer. Get your kid to those camps. Trust me, you will not regret it. Excuse me. Dog and Pony Show Brewing. We are talking about the Women's World Cup shortly. We're going to be doing watch parties at Dog and Pony Show Brewing in Oak Park. Get your butt down to Dog and Pony Show Brewing for those watch parties. And the Michigan Jags. Wait, wrong side. There we go. Michigan Jags. They got some top players, some top coaches. Trust me, the Michigan Jags, my kids play there. Your kids should too. All right. World Cup is happening this July. July 20th is the kickoff. Here we go. I'm going to put the roster up in a minute. Team USA, they're in Group E with Netherlands, Portugal, and Vietnam. First game, Friday, July 21st, 9 p.m. kickoff against Vietnam. Get down to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. We're doing a watch party. Huge, huge game. That first game for the women's U.S. women's national team. That is going to be a big one. The second game is 5 days later, Wednesday, July 26th, 9 p.m. against Netherlands. And then the third and final group match for the U.S. women's team is Tuesday, August 1st at 3 a.m. No watch party for that one, unless anybody wants to host it at their house and I can come around, whatever. Portugal, the final.
Works 3 hours later.
Yeah, then exactly. All right, so before I show you the squad here, boys and girls watching, here's what we've got. This is by the numbers. 3 players of the squad named to their 4th World Cup roster. 4 players were born after the historic 1999 Women's World Cup. 4 players making their first World Cup roster. There are 10
2 goalkeepers of those 4.
2 goalkeepers of the 4. Well done. 10 different clubs represented. 9 players from the 2019 Women's World Cup winning squad. And 14 players in total named to their first Women's World Cup roster. Here we go. Let's
okay, never mind. My bad. 14. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Women's World Cup 2023 roster. All right. Aubrey Kingsbury, Casey Murphy, Alyssa Nair, Elena Cook, Crystal Dunn, Emily Fox, Naomi Girma, Sofia Huerta. I put a little inflection on the H there, and the R there. Kelly O'Hara, Emily Sonnet, Savannah DeMelde, Julie Ertz, one of my favorite players there, Julie Ertz, Lindsay Horan, Rose Lavelle. Rose Lavelle is what's going to make this team tick, in my opinion. Kristen Mewis, Ashley Sanchez, Andy Sullivan, Alex Morgan again, Megan Rapinoe, we'll get back to her. Trinity Rodman, so happy to see her on there. Sophia Smith, Alyssa Thompson, and Lynn Williams. I think this is a good squad, but boys, you want to chime in at all? Brooks, got any thoughts on there? We can jump in on the Rapinoe.
I try to watch the women's game as much as I can.
It's tough.
It's not as detailed as the men's game.
You've grown up watching the men's game. It's tough to get in the women's if you have.
Honestly, the first memory, I'll be honest with you, to our viewers, the first memory I have of like national team stuff is that women's 99 team.
99, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first memory before even watching the men.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Listen, you have Rapinoe,
Put that back up.
199 caps. So obviously we wanted her to get 200.
Is that why she's on the squad, though? I mean, come on, really?
I think she's a
we
good
don't have
one.
better players
I think
than
she's
Megan
a good
Rapinoe?
veteran to bring off and to bring off the bench in case things happen. But Andonovsky, if he doesn't start these young players like Alyssa Thompson, who's done well for Angel City, Sophia Smith, who's done well for the Portland Thorns. I mean, she's got 29 caps and looks like that's 12 goals, I believe. I think it's 29 and 12. I think that's what usually it is when it's split on the national website. Emily Fox has been I've seen that name a lot with the, youth national teams coming up. I believe she went to North Carolina. She was UNC grad as well. So, I mean, listen, you got Lindsay Horan going back over to Lyon. She was with the Portland Thorns. Rose Lavelle's been, done well. She's been overseas. She's come back. Christy Mewis, obviously. Alex Morgan, 206 caps. Trinity Rodman, I think, is the one everyone's looking at, to be honest with you, because, she skipped college. Obviously the daughter of Dennis Rodman. One of
the highest paid NWSL players at the moment.
She's for the Washington Spirit, who plays with Chloe Ricketts.
She's been putting the ball in the back of the net.
She is. So I would like to see this lineup. If you're going to play Vietnam, I get that. Like, you're going to play some of the veterans, that's fine. Maybe you want to play some in there. I don't know. I would like to see a good mixture of not just going with the normal players that they, it's tough. You're looking at the midfield. Julie Ertz just came off a major injury.
But she's been playing well for 2 months now in the NWSL.
She has.
She scored a goal. She got an assist.
But
you are right.
Is that enough? Right. And is that fair to jump, any other players, you know what I mean, that maybe are there for the first time or didn't play in the last one? That's what you really have to look at, I
don't know if Andonovsky knows his best team. I don't think he knows his best team. I think, unfortunately, for this U.S. team, I think they're going to make it through this round, the group, and make it to the knockout stages, and then they're really going to struggle because I'm sorry, I just don't see this team putting it together. Trinity Rodman is a good player. She's not a great player yet. Julie Ertz is still coming back from that injury, as you said, and now we're dragging along Megan Rapinoe so we can get her a 200th cap. I'm sorry, Megan Rapinoe is only there for one thing. For herself and her causes.
So we have...
Not to play the game. I hate to say it, but she's not there for any reason other than her little causes and to get caps and to make herself, with her funny colored hair, the center of attention. Yeah. I don't think she has any care in the world how this team does. It was a mistake to bring her. Now watch, she'll go and score a goal in every game and they'll win and it'll be my fault.
Yeah. So we have a viewer tuning in. She said...
Please. Yep.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's she or he or cursed spinal is the name of the person chiming in.
The comment from this lovely person.
Yes. So no Rapinoe is on the squad because in this tournament there is no Becky Sauerbrunn. She has been there before as a captain. They need that leadership in the locker room. Fair enough.
They have a lot of leadership in the locker room. There's Rose Lavelle, there's Kristen Mewis, there's Alex Morgan, who's actually been playing very well.
Correct.
So there's leadership there. I'm just worried that.
Hold on, I'm not
Megan
done.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say, I think her causes will get in the way of her leadership.
But she agrees with us that it's a chaos roster.
Yeah,
it's
all
just,
over the place.
And I think for me, is that, and I think we've all talked about this for years, is that there hasn't been a shift like the men's have with the young players coming in.
There should have been.
The next generation. Yeah. The next generation. And you do need leadership. I get that. You need players that have been there before. But it'll be interesting to see how far this team can go.
I think this will be the first World Cup where the USA really gets humbled in in the knockout rounds by any number of teams. I think it's England, Germany, Spain, Brazil, Australia. There are teams I think right now that are better than the USA, and for the first time in a long time, the USA is not the favorite. For some reason, I think they've been proclaimed as a favorite by the betting odds in Las
They're
Vegas.
number one in the world right now.
But they shouldn't be, because look what they did when they lost to England in a very competitive match, right? England actually beat, was it Germany in the Euros?
Yeah, they won the Euros.
And I think Germany and England can both in this World Cup beat USA.
He's probably let Nate speak because he was raising his hand.
Yeah, was he? Apologies.
He was. Sorry.
I think this team is not even going to make it to the final. I don't even make it to the semifinal. And again, I'll be rooting for them. Sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
I think it's going to have.
I apologize.
I mean, I think the goalkeeper, they're going to be a lot. If they want to get it far, they're going to have to. The goalkeeper whoever's going to play, whether it's Nair or it's I mean, just look at this lineup. If it's Alyssa Nair or Aubrey Kingsbury or Casey Murphy, whoever it is, they got to come up big and make saves, in my opinion. And Nair's probably, I would assume she'd be the starter because she's got 90 caps. Whereas Aubrey Kingsbury only has 1. Actually, Casey Murphy has 14. She has 14 caps.
If you're relying on your goalkeeper going into the World Cup here, you've got issues, because I don't see them being able to put the ball in the back of the net consistently with Trinity Rodman and Alex Morgan yet. I think Trinity Rodman and Pugh, who got injured, which is unfortunate, that would have been a nice dynamic duo up top. Alex Morgan is doing well in the NWSL right now, but she's going to come up against more physical defenders.
And it's nice to see. I do like that they put the young 18-year-old Alyssa Thompson, who can't skip college, and she was on. And then obviously the San Diego Wave girl, that's the same age as Chloe Ricketts. Their time will come. They're still young. They're still only 15, 16 years old. So, there are in the women's game. It's been very interesting. It's very much so been like the men where. Some of these girls are like, hey, I'm going to try it. Like, I don't want to do college. I want to go and play right away. And I think that's very courageous for them to do. And hopefully there's, there's a lot of good girls. I mean, a lot of good, Spinastra, who's from Michigan, and Michelle Cooper. Yes. Played at Duke. And they're both with Casey Current, those two. And you got Zoe Morse and, playing overseas. I mean, there's a lot of good girls coming through the pipeline. You know what I mean?
It's probably a little too early right now, but I think the next Women's World Cup is where we're going to see a lot of those players that are right now just come out of college or skipped college, where we're going to see that. And we're going to finally see some of these players like Ertz and Rapinoe and Mewis and Lavelle just move on a little bit, right? But again, I just don't think Andonovski knows his best lineup right now. I just don't see the U.S. women's team.
Is that the problem, too? Because Andonovski, it's kind of a common occurrence for the women's national team where, we talk about the men, should they be there for 2 cycles? I think sometimes the women's national team keeps their coach for a little too long.
I think that's a common trend in a lot of the women's games.
It can be, yeah.
So here's the deal.
You've been waiting patiently. I feel like,
you guys been
you ever seen the movie where the one ninja stands in the corner and you're like, he hasn't done anything yet.
So
he hasn't done anything.
Here's the deal.
Here he comes.
About 4 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, I heard someone speak at one of the coaching conventions, and he said one of the most arrogant things I've ever heard out of someone's mouth ever, which was, "Hey, we're the USA. We shouldn't be taking tips on how the rest of the world plays. They need to be taking tips from us because we are the best." And I thought to myself, that is the first sign of decline. When complacency breeds and fosters your end demise in any type of sport. And I think this is the year for it.
Yep.
I think that its time is run out. I think they need to probably, after this, I think they're going to struggle. I look at all these other teams. Their players are playing in what I would consider better leagues around the world, more stable leagues around the world. Sorry, the NWSL
not quite there yet. You're right.
Is definitely not quite there yet. We've had to, for whatever reason, our league, even with the success of our national team, we've been struggling to get our domestic league going constantly, and your domestic league should fuel your national team to be good. And you look at Germany, and they're playing on all these sorts of marquee German club teams that do nothing but know how to develop and train players, and they've done it for hundreds of years.
Same in Spain, same in England.
Same in Spain, same in England. I said this 4 years ago. As soon as they realize, or as soon as they get money and realize there's money in this, the national teams around the world are going to shift gears, and then you're screwed because we've decided as a nation to believe that we are the number one and untouchable instead of saying we're the number one and how can we get better and constantly improve. We've gone complacent, and I think this is the year that you're going to now see that complacency, and everyone's going to have their head scratcher going, well, I thought we were number one. Why are we struggling? And then we're going to shellacked in a knockout stage.
Nailed it.
Slowly but surely, you're seeing a shift in the women's game.
Yeah, there's been a lot more
in
money
NWSL.
put into the NWSL in the last year and a half.
You've seen it
but like
slowly,
Nate said,
but also
it needed to happen 3 or 4
I know
years
because
ago.
I know people also within NWSL in front offices that a lot of them have changed their shifting to kind of the men's style where we want to go younger. We don't want to be an old veteran team. We want to go younger, and we want to get young players and then sell them over to the European leagues. Like they're going that way. You may see a trend where it changes a little bit in college, where the top players don't always go to college. It's kind of like as the men's game changed, in the early 2000s and whatnot. You may see the NWSL change a lot with that in that direction. So
I think
it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So
go ahead,
you
Nate.
just nailed what I thought. Where I've been saying the issue is.
Yeah.
Our women's team, which was dominant in the world
for 20 years,
is now saying that our domestic league needs to sell players to Europe for them to be better, when it should have been the other way around.
I think they look at it like they want to make money from it to then hopefully maybe – because you have to remember is that I think unfortunately with a lot of women's professional sports, and you see this with the WNBA and such, is that there are sponsors, but you don't get enough revenue from other things. And I think they're thinking about in soccer, if we can get money – and sell players and then put that money back into the club and use it for different ways to help grow the club. I think that's what a lot of them are looking to do. It's not necessarily that I think that they're conceding and saying that we're now a selling league. I think they're starting to look at things financially.
You're saying we're a selling league with extra words.
Is it the clubs wanting to sell, or is it more of the players saying, hey, I like this NWSL thing, but you know what? I want to move over to France. I want to move over to England. I want to move over to Germany.
Yeah, they kind of want to do what the men do.
I think it's more of the players here going, I want to move over there. Where a couple of years ago, some of the players were over here. They made a name, and then they've gone for a little bit. They've gone for money over there. Yeah. I think the money in the last year and a half has come into the NWSL now, whereas Nate said it needed to be 3 or 4 years ago, but it's slowly now getting in. We've seen in the last 12 months several celebrity groups now buying up the NWSL teams, like Angel City, Gotham City, the Currents, and Washington Spirit. We've seen these celebrity groups come in and put money in. But it needed to be 3 years ago, not 12 to 18 months ago.
Well, the problem is you had the functional league.
But it's going to take a while for this league to get to where
the problem with the NWSL teams, it was dysfunctional because they relied on the MLS clubs that they worked with, like Utah Royals with RSL and everything.
Yes.
This is the first time you've seen the league kind of separate from the men's teams. But this is what I'm saying, and one of our viewers asked, the top players aren't going to college now. I think the majority of them are still going. There's just far and few select players that will skip college to do that. I think over time it'll change. It's not going to be just something that happens right away, because I think, in our company we've asked people to scout the women's game, and I think where you start is to go start in the college game. That's how you find the top women's players.
Sure.
And then obviously you work down to the youth levels and such. But over time, you think you'll still see that shift where you've seen in the men's game, where these youth players sign homegrown contracts, don't go to college, and, they end up playing, jumping in with the first team and then looking to get sold overseas. But with NWSL, I'll go back to it, is that, again, they were so tied with the MLS teams, I think that really hurt their development, and then they finally said, screw it. Like, we can do this. We got people that want to invest, like you talked about, Craig.
Yep.
We're going to go separate. we're going to do our own thing. We got the KC Current that are building their own soccer-specific stadium
Yeah,
for
it's a
women's.
brilliant looking stadium, by
Yes,
the way.
they're
Right?
not going to play in Children's Mercyhurst Park, which is huge. That's big for like a women's team to say we have our own soccer-specific stadium,
gosh,
and that's going to
yes.
happen more in Europe, isn't it? Or are they using the training facilities?
I think they're
maybe
still.
more?
I think they're using the men's stuff over there still, but they
got-
will.
They got the infrastructure. They don't need to go
Yeah.
buy.
No,
new
they don't.
infrastructure. They
They don't.
in Europe.
No, they don't. What do you say?
Not in
He's
Europe, not in
agreeing with
Europe.
you.
No,
They
no,
don't
not
need
in
to go
Europe.
Buy it.
No, but I think
What?
He's agreeing with you.
I am agreeing with you.
Oh,
yes.
I got confused when you.
Sorry,
said
I'm agreeing with you guys. But you're starting to see a churn and change in NWSL, and I think what they're trying to do is sell their young players over to get money back to then put into that. And I'm assuming NWSL very much works like MLS, where probably expansion team comes in, and maybe eventually see expansion teams the money raised, and then it's revenue sharing. Everyone shares the revenue.
Sure.
But you are starting to see, people pick up on it, and I'm sure, bigger networks will start to
That's-
air it. But
That's where the money's going to come from,
Yes.
the networks and from the.
it's
you
a
know, the
slow.
MLS
It's slow though, and
or,
Nate
sorry,
has a
from-
point.
So again, back.
And Nate has a point though, and it's gonna be, I think, a little bit of a tough time. This next Women's World Cup, and maybe into the next one, where you're gonna start to see, money go back into the domestic game more
Right.
to develop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a bit of a road here for the U.S. NWSL, the U.S. Women's National Team, and I think we're going to get humbled. I think the USA will be humbled in this World Cup, but we will see. Again, I'm not sure how they're the favorites by Vegas, but we'll find out.
Which-
lots to come.
which might not be a bad thing.
Oh, no, I think it's absolutely going to be a good thing. It's a negative, which will hopefully be preceded by a positive. We will 100% see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Weekly Recap Extravaganza from We Are Soccer. I got the name right, guys. Don't worry about it. The name is down.
Did you just change it again? Did you change it again? I'm
I don't
pretty
think so.
He's
We need a-
adding things.
You know what? We need a graphic. We need a graphic so the way you guys can know that I'm saying it the
We
right
do.
thing. The Weekly Recap Extravaganza Soccer Show from We Are Soccer. I said it wrong again. All right, a big thank you to our partners, Soccer World, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jags. We very much appreciate everything you guys have done for us. And listen, if you guys have enjoyed the show, do us a huge favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, give us a share. And if you're listening on a podcast, give us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. Just say hi, leave us a little note. We'd appreciate it. We love you. And we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat location. I don't know what else to say, but appreciate everybody joining us and all the comments. Brooks, Nate, thanks, boys. Appreciate it. And we'll see you again next week. Cheers.
Roast.